This is a world where everyone raises magical beasts. The strong or the top of the world are determined by the battle strength of the magical beast they own. This young man suddenly finds himself transported to this magical beast world. Except for the fact that the body Tobin inhabits is a useless guy who likes to tease his younger sister. It can be said that he is lucky to own a pet shop. Tobin eagerly leaves the house following directions to his shop, wanting to see what it's like. However, when he arrives he really doesn't know if he should use the word shop to describe this place because it looks no different from a garbage dump. The outside is shabby and dilapidated, and inside the pets are messing around, creating a very unpleasant smell. Tobin looks at this scene and feels extremely disheartened. He thought he would inherit some resources from the original owner, but it turns out he just has to clean up the mess that they left behind. Just as Tobin was about to roll up his sleeves to clean up, he was suddenly kicked hard in the back from behind, causing him to tumble forward and roll a few times on the floor. "Who is that?" Tobin shouted angrily. In front of him stood a guy who looked like trouble. Hey, did you forget that the customer just picked up? I've been waiting for you here all week." Tobin had no impression of this person and temporarily assumed he was an enemy. Before he could respond, the other person shouted again. 3 days for 3 whole days. I left my tatfong for you to take care of you, locked it up with 10 lions for 3 days. Do you know how ruthless they are? Do you have any idea how it has been living these past 3 days? After hearing this, Tobin immediately understood the issue and then looked at the sickly tatfong, unable to help but exclaim, the previous owner of this body was really immoral. Tobin quickly spoke to calm the other person. "I'm truly sorry. I will take responsibility for taking care of your pet and won't charge you a dime. I don't need your shabby money." The other person gritted his teeth and said then ordered his magical beast to attack this animal. Just recently it looked weak and sickly, but upon hearing the owner's command, it became extremely fierce. Before Tobin could fully comprehend what was happening, the creature circled behind him. Its tail was a sharp scythe coldly wrapping around Tobin's neck. Feeling the coldness of the metal, Tobin couldn't help but sweat profusely on his forehead. He silently cursed the original owner, wondering why they were so reckless as to provoke these people. "Let's talk this over calmly. Can we all sit down and negotiate? How about this? They'll compensate you 3 times the money." Tobin still tried to salvage the situation. "How compensation? You turned my battle beast into a wet bear. How can you compensate for that?" The other person replied angrily. Then his expression suddenly changed. "Wait, I just thought of a great idea." After finishing his words, he commanded his dark wind to use a new technique to blow away this pet shop, restoring the prestige of his beast with the bloodline of the white dragon. Tobin was both panicked and helpless when he saw the black leopard preparing to strike. He really didn't know what to do. Could it be that he was about to lose everything just after arriving here? He was a time traveler, but there was no way he could be so useless as to not have a beast at all. Just as he thought that, suddenly a brilliant beam of light appeared from the sky and struck Tobin. Both the young thug and his dark wind were turned to stone. At the same time, a simulation window appeared in front of Tobin, scanning for suitable targets and beginning the binding contract. Tobin's heart, which was hanging in suspense, was finally set down. "That's right, you're a time traveler. How could you lack a VIP Pro system?" Consequently, several lines of text appeared in the simulation window in front of him, binding with the Roju shop. This time it was Tobin's turn to be petrified. "Why am I bound to this shop and not to me, right?" Initially, Tobin reacted this way because he thought he had just been bound to some useless system. However, after the binding process was completed, the system notified that Tobin was in a shop immune to damage, meaning that at this moment any attack would become ineffective against him. This is no different from being invincible. Tobin looked at his hands in confusion, then muttered, "But the target of the binding isn't this shop, right?" The system read his thoughts and replied, "I forgot to mention, when the shop is bound, the owner of the shop will also be bound." Tobin sighed. This system seemed not very professional. The process of accepting the master by the system was completed, and space and time were immediately restored to normal. The thug and his dark wind were no longer frozen, and the attack of the beast was once again initiated. However, this time, Tobin had no intention of standing still to take the hit. Facing the beast that was opening its mouth wide, preparing to strike, the simplest way was to stop it. Thinking his doing, he rushed in like the wind and then used his hand to lock its mouth. "What do you want, my shop?" Tobin glared and asked coldly. The dark wind, seeing this, broke out in a cold sweat and could only emit some pitiful groans from its throat. "Swallow it for me," Tobin spoke again, this time as a command. Then the dark wind, though very aggrieved, had to swallow its attack, then lay down on the ground, trembling, completely devoid of any imposing demeanor after handling this pet. Tobin turned back to its owner. "May I ask, do you have any comments regarding the service quality of the shop?" This customer, that thug earlier, was very aggressive, but after seeing Tobin stop Tatfong Hakam with his bare hands, he was soon scared to death. "No, I don't," sensing the fear of the opponent. Tobin continued to take advantage of the moment. He walked step by step towards him, saying, "If you have no comments, then let Tatfong Hakam stay at our shop for a few more days. I will definitely take good care of it." It was clearly a suggestion, but this guy felt a chilling aura emanating from Tobin. He felt like he was about to be silenced for good. Therefore, just a moment later, without any prior signal, both Tatfong Hakam and its owner ran out as fast as they could. After they left, Tobin received a new notification from the system stating that the danger of the shop had been resolved. Therefore, he received the authority to cleanse the state of the shop. Tobin was very satisfied. It seemed that this system was quite sophisticated. He immediately pressed to use that authority. In the blink of an eye, his messy shop became shiny and tidy. Even the floor could reflect a mirror. Tobin curiously began to walk around the shop to inspect. He entered a room and discovered that the pet cage had also been upgraded, becoming very modern. Inside the room, there were 2 pets sleeping soundly. But Tobin had the feeling that the pets inside were smaller than he had imagined. Grasping that thought, the system immediately spoke to explain, "This is the pet nurturing cage. The pets kept in here will all be adjusted to a standard form. Number of spots 2 out of 9, capable of providing effective training and some therapy for pets." Tobin secretly exclaimed, "This upgrade is really impressive." However, he still had something to worry about. What if that filthy dog makes a mess in here? How would I clean it up? "The host doesn't need to worry," the system replied, "because the pets in the nurturing cage will enter a training state. They will not be hungry or have the need to relieve themselves." Tobin nodded, seeming very satisfied with this renovation. Then he remembered another thing and asked, "These 2 pets must be entrusted by customers' right system, so to prevent anyone from causing trouble again, what should I do?" The system did not respond, but instead it made a sound. It sent a new mainline task, which was to select a pet and raise it to level 3. Tobin looked at the 2 options in front of him, then decided to choose the pet named Chot Loi Kwang. After all, he didn't really like dogs. Chot Loi Kwang was a pet with lightning elemental attributes, currently at level 1, with the existing skill being Lure. Tobin felt as if he had been slapped hard in the face. What kind of ridiculous skill is Lure? Where is that lightning bolt? Based on the owner's daily training routines, pets will acquire different skills. The system sent a new notification to answer your questions, then sent another notification. Pet selection is complete, entering the Lloyd and Von High Joy nurturing interface. Just after Tobin read this notification, a large hole suddenly appeared beneath him, and both Tobin and the Chot Loi Kwang were sucked into this deep hole. They didn't know how long they had been in freefall, but they finally landed. The place called the Lloyd and Von High Joy nurturing interface appeared before them. The first thing that struck Tobin's eyes was a very large tree, but there wasn't a single leaf on it. This large tree made both him and the Chot Loi Kwang tremble uncontrollably. If this tree is so big, how large must the people here be? At this moment, the system sent another notification explaining that the Lloyd and Von High Joy is the interface for many giant beast species densely packed with elements, and is a suitable place for nurturing elemental beasts. The probability of encountering beasts smaller than 100 Melners here is very high. The probability of encountering beasts of 1,000 miles is low, and the probability of encountering beasts of 10,000s or more is very low. After reading this, Tobin seemed quite excited. This newbie village is actually pretty scary. Just entering and the probability of encountering a 100 Melner beast is already very high. Only the Chot Loi Kwang was so scared at this point that its fur was all puffed up, and it seemed that their luck wasn't very good as suddenly a monstrous beast appeared in the sky. Compared to its size, even Tobin looked as small as an ant, let alone the Chot Loi Kwang in his hand. The beloved beast immediately opened its mouth and unleashed a bolt of lightning aimed straight at Tobin. After that, Everything went dark and he received a notification. The host has died. When Tobin regained consciousness, he couldn't suppress his horror and panted heavily. What the hell was that just now? Did it kill me with one hit? The system's notification appeared again. It announced that Tobin had been eliminated by the King Beast 0.73 seconds ago and is now in the resurrection space waiting to come back to life. Accompanying this notification was a warning that sounded serious, stating that if Tobin could not complete this mission on time, his evaluation score would be lowered. When the evaluation score drops below 60 points, he will die, and leaving the training area early will be considered an incomplete mission. After reading the notification, Tobin immediately turned pale. This damn system didn't mention anything about score penalties when accepting the mission. Besides, how many points do I have now? Tobin asked tremulously. The host's score is too low. You do not have permission to check the score, the system ruthlessly replied. And also, do you see the slider on the notification? Pulling it down will show the rewards and penalties of the mission. Tobin followed the system's instructions. Indeed, below the mission information, there were some other lines of text he hadn't fully read. Specifically, the number of free revives in this mission is unlimited. The reward is a primary pet identification technique, and the deadline is 3 days. If the mission fails, Tobin's evaluation points will drop significantly. This damn system dares to challenge me, Tobin yelled. How could a royal beast appear in Tantha village? Encountering a royal beast is a very low probability event. The host can hunt for suitable prey to eliminate it. Furthermore, the host's perception ability is too low. It is recommended to sign a temporary pact with the pet. The system replied. Isn't this just saying that Tobin is unlucky? It's not his fault? Really, Tobin is furious, but arguing with a soulless system is pointless. Moreover, the revival waiting time has ended. You are brought back to the Thunderstorm C interface. The Thunder Mouse is waiting. Tobin, as recommended by the system, quickly signed a temporary pact with it. It didn't take long, successfully linking the emotional consciousness between you and this pet. This time, perhaps it won't be as unlucky to encounter a royal beast like before. Tobin took the opportunity to lead the Thunder Mouse to hunt, and his luck was quite good, as not long after, Tobin encountered a grazing horse. For Tobin, this is a pet with low threat level. However, for the Thunder Mouse, it is still a very frightening creature, perhaps due to the size difference. After establishing the pact, Tobin could sense the extreme fear of the Thunder Mouse. This made him suspect that there must be something dangerous ahead, and Tobin's instincts were indeed accurate. Soon after, another terrifying creature appeared out of nowhere, ambushing the horse and swallowing it whole. After seeing this scene, the Thunder Mouse's attitude changed, appearing very aggressive, looking like it was less than 100 meters away. We have a chance now, go take its life, Thunder Mouse, Tobin commanded fiercely. The mouse eagerly charged forward, and he ordered it to bite the opponent with all its strength. The Thunder Mouse was obedient, but who would have guessed that the creature resembling a giant centipede had a very thick and hard shell? The Thunder Mouse charged at it with all its might, resulting in a head injury after the collision, and it died instantly. However, through this process of throwing eggs at stones, it also learned a new skill called conflict. Tobin frowned again. The combat power of the Thunder Mouse really is too weak. Fortunately, he could revive it infinitely, so no matter how much health the opponent's monster had, he could torture it bit by bit. After that, Tobin revived his pet. This time, the Thunder Mouse approached the centipede in a different way. Instead of charging straight in, Tobin guided it to take advantage of its small and agile physique, continuously weaving and dodging the opponent's attacks. After a while of going back and forth, Tobin finally grasped the target's weakness. He ordered Chuat Loikwang to use the conflict skill he just learned, launching a full-force attack on the opponent's armor between the back and belly. This time, it was truly successful, dealing damage to the opponent. Just right after that, Chuat Loikwang was bitten by that centipede. Continuing to sell salt for the second time, Tobin persisted and did not give up, continuing to revive his pet in this way. Many times in the rich lightning elemental environment, Chuat Loikwang had grasped most of the Thunder system's power. Now it could use Thunderbolt to assist the conflict skill, thus upgrading the skill to become Thunderbolt Conflict. Tobin was very excited. Although his pet had been overwhelmed until its mouth was full, he still didn't think its skill would be upgraded so quickly. Now, using this new skill, it should be able to pierce through the protective armor of that beast. Tobin eagerly commanded Chuat Loikwang to activate Thunderbolt Conflict, and the effect of this skill was not bad as the overwhelmingly large centipede was finally defeated. Although they successfully took down the target, it seemed that Chuat Loikwang was also exhausted. It seemed that its stamina was not very good, and it could only use Thunderbolt Conflict one more time. Therefore, for now, Tobin had to let it rest for a while before gonna find a new prey. At that moment, the ground suddenly shook violently. Tobin couldn't stand and fell backward. At first, he thought it was an earthquake, but unexpectedly, many beasts suddenly appeared from under the ground. Damn it. They are all allies of that centipede. The newly appeared centipedes aggressively attacked both Tobin and Chuat Loikwang. Tobin was struck by their tails. Leaving him dazed and disoriented, Tobin was thrown into the air and then slammed hard onto the ground. Feeling pain as if he had broken 5 or 6 bones, it seems that these adult centipedes are much more terrifying than the larvae from before. Even though he and Chuat Loikwang have infinite revival abilities, continuing a battle this uneven is really too difficult, especially for Chuat Loikwang, as its injuries are not light, and it hadn't had time to recover its stamina. Tobin felt powerless and chose to give up resisting. The number of enemies was just too many. Even if Chuat Loikwang resurrected to fight again, it could not hold out for long. He felt he should revive opportunistically. Continuing to level up was the right choice. However, when a centipede charged at Tobin and opened its disgusting mouth wide, Chuat Loikwang reacted to protect its master. Its whole body trembled with pain, but it still rushed forward using the electric shock to slice through the opponent. Tobin was astonished that it could still use this skill in its exhausted state. Furthermore, it unleashed its abilities based on its own will, rather than waiting for him to give orders. Seeing the fighting spirit of the electric mouse, Tobin suddenly didn't want to give up anymore. What if it comes to a dead end? This is a great opportunity to experience it. If Chuat Loikwang hasn't given up, then he definitely can't just wait to die. Thinking of this, he picked up a fallen centipede leg from the ground to use as a weapon for self-defense. In the blink of an eye, the centipedes charged again. This was clearly an uneven battle, but both Tobin and Chuat Loikwang did not give up. And then no miraculous intervention occurred. In the end, he was still overwhelmed by them. Tobin and Chuat Loikwang were revived at random in a different location, escaping the pursuit of those centipedes. The strange thing is, even though he was revived and spitting blood, Tobin still felt so tired that he could hardly breathe. Just as he thought of this, the system sent a notification to explain. Although he was revived and spitting blood, Tobin still had to bear part of the mental burden because his mental strength was too low. Reviving multiple times in a short period, so it's normal to feel tired. The system advised him that while enhancing his battle power, he should also pay attention to training his mental strength. So that's how it is, Tobin murmured, then sat down. No matter how good the wheels are, if they are flat, they can't run. It seems he still has to train this body more thoroughly. Not long after resting, Tobin suddenly saw Chuat Loikwang stand up straight, displaying a very tense expression. Tobin also jumped up, glancing from Chuat Loikwang's direction. With this reaction, could there be an enemy nearby? Speaking of which, Tobin then noticed that there were many strange-looking earth crusts around them. Just as he thought of this, the ground suddenly cracked open. Reflexively, Tobin and Chuat Loikwang immediately tumbled backwards. The beast that appeared this time was less than 10 meters in size, but when it opened its mouth, it spat out a very strong acid. Just touching it could cause the body to dissolve instantly. Tobin adjusted his posture, and then asked Chuat Loikwang to charge with all his strength to show the opponent his growth. They struggled like this for a long time, defeating countless beasts, their corpses piling up. Finally, Tobin completed the mission. He and Chuat Loikwang lay on the heap of beast corpses, gasping for breath. What really amazed Tobin was that just now, Chuat Loikwang had learned one of the legendary lightning techniques, the lightning shadow. The starlight skill is divided into 6 grades based on battle power. The higher the quality, the greater the power of the skill among the myriad of skills. There are those from ancient times known as ultimate techniques. It is said that these secret techniques have long been lost. Only extraordinary, talented beasts can comprehend them. Unexpectedly, this little Chuat Loikwang had that kind of fortune. Loi Din Van Hai owns a high-purity elemental examination. Mouse Loikwang, after countless attacks, has activated the potential to learn the ultimate skill. The system sends new notes to explain the questions from Tobin. "Oh, so that's it, all right, hurry up and take me back," Tobin weakly said. His whole body now has no strength left at all. The system quickly starts up, closing the nurturing interface again. Tobin is about to be disconnected from Loi Din Van Hai, so the temporary link between him and Mouse Loikwang is also removed. Tobin closes his eyes, he really has no strength left at all. At the same time, in the real world, the final selection round of the Star Pet team is taking place. This is a competition held once a year at the Phoenix Mountain Academy in Long River City. The students participating in this competition all carry the hope of becoming a Grand Master of Star Pets and joining the earliest pioneering team. Like every year, this year also has several names that are highly anticipated, such as Deep Hao Zhang Tuet Han and Truong Hu. That day, in the crowd, there was a red-haired girl who was constantly sighing. This girl is named Thursday Yen Din, a third-year Star Pet Master of Phoenix Mountain Academy. Like many others, Thursday Yen Din also hopes to achieve high results. However, for some reason, in the previous 2 rounds, she repeatedly faced seeds capable of winning the championship. The previous round was Zhang Tuet Han and the next round was Deep Hao. Because of that, Thursday Yen Din lost 2 consecutive matches. However, it doesn't stop there. In this final match, she also faces the remaining seed, Truong Hu. Yet, in Thursday Yen Din's hands at this moment, there is only Bac Na Ac Ho left to go to the arena. Meanwhile, the condition to satisfy the competition is to have at least 2 star pets in hand. Therefore, she hurried to Thursday Bin's pet shop to pick up Mouse Loi Kwang. When she entered, Thursday Yen Din saw the shop completely empty and thought the owner was about to move, so she felt a bit anxious. "Boss, I'm here to pick up my star pet," she called out loudly. Hearing the call, Thursday Bin opened the door and greeted her. "I sent the Mouse Loi Kwang to your place. Is it healthy now?" "I want to take it back a little earlier. It's very healthy as it can be," Thursday Bin replied curtly, then turned and walked to the checkout. Thursday Yen Din was a bit confused by Thursday Bin's reaction. He went straight into the inner room, picked up the sleeping Mouse Loi Kwang, and looked at it with a reluctant gaze. "It's time to wake up. It's time for you to go home, after you get home with your owner. Remember not to forget me." It turns out that Thursday Bin's reaction was because he couldn't bear to part with the mouse, which had shared hardships with him in the nurturing interface over the past few days, but in the end, he still had to return it to Thursday Yen Din. After the girl made the payment, the system automatically converted it into energy. And at the same time, Thursday Bin also received a new mission called Chaotic Reproductive Spirit. The mission's content requires Thursday Bin to create a pet that belongs to him. The deadline to complete this mission is 7 days. With the reward being a random skill book for pet trainers, and the penalty for failing the mission is a deduction of evaluation points. When the score does not meet the set target, Thursday Bin will be logged out of the living server. The system also suggested that he could buy a Awakening solution in the store to become a pet trainer. Thursday Bin's heart skipped a beat at the thought of becoming a pet trainer. He felt incredibly excited. Thursday Bin immediately opened the system store interface. According to the system, this is a store that exists in his consciousness. In the future, whatever he wants to buy will appear just by thinking about it. The Awakening solution is located in the first item slot, priced at 100 energy. Thursday Bin didn't think much and immediately clicked to buy, but unfortunately, he couldn't own it due to insufficient energy. The system explained that energy is mainly converted from the money Thursday Bin earns at a ratio of 101. And the energy he earned today is only 1 point because the bill that Thursday Yen Din paid earlier was only worth 108. After reading the notification about the balance change, Thursday Bin was really furious. "Damn. I raised a spirit pet that mastered 10 major secret techniques, and it's only worth 108 after that." The match between Truong Hu and Thursday Yen Din proceeded as usual, and the result was still within the viewers' expectations when Truong Hu's Ma Long Queen could defeat Thursday Yen Din's Thursday Bin with just 1 move. Amid the cheers of the surrounding audience, Truong Hu wore an extremely smug expression, very much like someone hailed as an elite in China. "Do you want to fight again?" This person is a third-year student at Fongson Academy, and their strength is quite formidable. Although Truong Hu asked, everyone knew that this match was no longer worth watching. In the previous 2 rounds, Thursday Yen Din was considered one of the strong contenders among the players, but it was unfortunate that she faced 2 aces from Fongson Academy. Most of her pets were heavily injured, and she had almost no chance of winning since the beginning. She was too weak for this certain defeat situation. She didn't even think about preserving her own strength and took such risks. It really showed a lack of foresight. One person commented that she was an outsider who was always clear-headed. The outcome of this match relates to whether she qualifies to join the Kai Huang battle team or not, of course. Even if there were no chances of winning left, she still had to take a risk as a fan. Someone else chimed in that in the arena, the battle was still not truly over. Even though Thursday Yen Din's pets had already been knocked flat on the ground, the audience is all waiting for her to make the final decision to accept defeat or fight to the end. But now is not the time to dig deep for answers to that problem, because on the other side, Zhang Xiao's hellhound is attacking again. This time, it's the fiery dragon's flame. Even though he hasn't used all his strength, it's enough to completely defeat the evil tiger, which hasn't had time to recover. Seeing the fiery dragon's flame charging fiercely, I, Yen Din, tightly shut my eyes and shouted loudly. I concede boom with that sound. The entire audience was shaken by the attack from Zhang Xiao. Just now the referee intervened to stop the fiery dragon's flame, and declared that I, Yen Din, had surrendered. I don't understand why even after winning, there is an unwilling look on Zhang Xiao's face. Just a little bit more, he thought to himself. Consider yourself lucky. Wait until the next match. I, Yen Din, am very troubled. Now I only have the Thunder Mouse left that can go to the arena. However, that mouse is very tiny, and after coming back from the pet store, it has only eaten junk food. This makes me suspect that during its care, Tu Bin has spoiled it with this state of the Thunder Mouse. I really don't want to let it go to the arena. Even the Bak Na evil tiger has been defeated. How can I let that tiny mouse go into battle? Ladies and gentlemen, according to the rules of the competition, I, Yen Din, only have the Thunder Mouse left that can fight. The MCS voice rang out again. I, Yen Din, bite my lip. Do I really have to let this mouse go to the arena? Even though I have mastered the secret skill of a pet trainer called Level 3 Strengthening, it can only temporarily raise the combat power of the Thunder Mouse from Level 1 to Level 3. Meanwhile, Zhang Xiao's Hellhound has long reached Level 3. Everyone thinks this will definitely be a one-sided brutal match. Haha, Tu Yen Din, don't be afraid. Just give it a try. You never know, the Thunder Mouse can eat mice. The audience started shouting, but it was all tram teasing Tu Yen Din. Even being provoked like that, she still managed to keep a bit of her last rationality. Tu Yen Din wanted to protect the Thunder Mouse, not letting it risk its life unnecessarily. So she struggled to raise her hand. But just as she was about to say, I concede, the Thunder Mouse suddenly fluffed up its fur and charged forward. In this situation, everyone assumed that Tu Yen Din accepted the challenge, and the match quickly began. Just now, Tu Yen Din did not issue any commands to her pet. It was just the Thunder Mouse with its own will refusing to allow its owner to be humiliated like that. She was confused. While Zhang Xiao on the opposite side seemed very pleased, he still wanted to trample on someone weaker like Tu Yen Din to satisfy his own vanity. Zhang Xiao immediately ordered the Hellhound to attack and burn the Thunder Mouse. However, on the opposite side, that little mouse was also entering a fierce defense state. Lightning Mouse Loi Kuang quickly used lightning speed to dodge the attack. Tu Yen Din suddenly shouted loudly, interrupting Loi Kuang's self-move technique. That's because she doesn't know that Tu Bin has trained it to awaken all 10 ultimate skills. Therefore, this time, Tu Yen Din inadvertently harmed her own pet. The counterattack was interrupted and Loi Kuang used its lightning speed a beat too late, ultimately being knocked on its back to the ground by Ma Longguin's attack. Everyone thought the match would end here, but Trung, who didn't want it to end so quickly, he ordered his Ma Longguin to slowly tear apart the opponent. At that command, Trung Hu's pet rushed in to prepare for a close-range attack. In that situation, Tu Yen Din hurriedly used her level 3 power enhancement skill to temporarily boost Loi Kuang. Then she instructed it to use lightning speed to evade the attack. And this time, that mouse really did dodge. Next, Loi Kuang found a nice landing spot, and seizing the opportunity, Tu Yen Din signaled it to counterattack. The red-haired girl in the stands who had just criticized Tu Yen Din immediately sat up straight, her eyes fixed on the little mouse, because if she wasn't mistaken, the attack it was launching was a level 7 thunder skill. This move even pierced through the protective barrier set up by the referee, and Trung Hu's Ma Longguin certainly couldn't avoid it. The powerful figures in the stands could not hide their excitement upon witnessing this scene. A level 1 Loi Kuang mouse that can use a level 7 thunder skill, this truly is impressive. When the shock of this skill passed, Ma Longguin lay flat on the ground. Trung, who fell backward with a pale face, muttering, Impossible. The entire scene fell silent until the MC exclaimed loudly, Loi Kwang's Thunderstrike of Tu Yen Din has mastered a level 7 skill. This is truly unbelievable. Let's congratulate the winner of this match. Tu Yen Din. The stands were silent for a few seconds, then erupted. The fact that Loi Kwang could comprehend a level 7 skill was indeed earth-shattering. Even Tu Yen Din didn't understand what had just happened and why Loi Kwang could be so strong when just a few days ago it was still just a pet. Besides being cute, it was of no other use. And then a thought suddenly appeared in her mind. Could it be that Loi Kwang became like this because of that pet shop? Thinking of this, Tu Yen Din was both surprised and delighted, secretly wondering if she had successfully chosen a pet care shop with an owner who was a legendary hidden expert. Meanwhile, Tu Bin at the pet shop was still busy singing, while the remaining dogs suddenly sneezed several times in a row. I don't even know who is mentioning me anymore. Back to the battlefield. The host's tone has become more excited than ever, saying that this battle will definitely be recorded in the Academy's competition history, as a level 1 beast can skillfully use a level 7 skill. This is an unprecedented event at Phoenix Mountain Academy, and even in Long River City the audience present today must be very lucky to witness such a miracle. Zhang Xiao has been defeated, and he does not hide his unwilling expression. He glared at Su Yending and Rat Thunderlight, secretly thinking that he should have anticipated this earlier. This match is so important. How could she allow a useless thing to sacrifice itself? Before he could recover his spirits, the MC continued to announce that the previous match had brought the score to a tie of 1-1, and the two competitors must continue to prepare for the final life and death showdown. Everyone is waiting to see if Zhang Xiao can find a way to defeat that mutated Rat Thunderlight, or if Su Yending will win once again. Su Yending, you are quite good, but this is as far as you can go. Zhang Xiao gritted its teeth and said. Then he put the demon dragon dog back into his beast space and summoned a creature far more formidable than the rock sloth. As soon as she saw this, cold sweat broke out on Su Yending's forehead. Not good. That's a ground-type beast that Zhang Xiao has never used before. It must be his trump card. Damn, that's Zhang Xiao's level 4 ground-type beast. The MC couldn't help but exclaim, with a 3-level difference and their attributes being completely different. This match, it seems Rat Thunderlight is in serious trouble. Rat Thunderlight has been held in Su Yending's hands, but after seeing the rock sloth, it rushed out ready to fight, showing no signs of fear. This made the viewers very entertained by Zhang Xiao's expression. It can be guessed that it is preparing to use its strongest power. Yet that little Rat Thunderlight is not scared at all. Interesting, but I feel there's nothing left to speculate about in this match. The muscular guy started commenting again. As long as it wasn't restrained by the opposing attribute's bloodline, it would surely win. If it only has level 1 strength, but uses a level 7 skill and can still get back up along with its current fighting spirit, I think it hasn't truly unleashed all its power yet. This time, the commentary came from the red-haired girl. The match had just begun, and Zhang Xiao hurriedly used all skills to enhance his spirit beast, both boosting its strength and its combat awareness. The rock sloth has become much stronger now, at least reaching level 5 strength. Su Yending was pushed back by the powerful pressure of the rock sloth. After a few seconds of being stunned, she remembered that she also had to use skills to level up Rat Thunderlight. However, that mouse was now anxiously rushing forward. The distance between them and its master was too far, so Tu Yending had no way to use the enhancement skill. Watching Cho Loi Kwang rushing closer to Nam Ti Tu, Tu Yending's heart felt like it was suspended in the air. Everyone believed she had made a serious mistake by not enhancing her pet, allowing it to fight Hedon with Nam Ti Tu. Damn mouse. Let my Nam Ti Tu crush you. Zhang Xiao gritted his teeth and said. Under its control, Nam Ti Tu lifted its right foot high and then stomped down hard. Everyone thought that, with just this move, Cho Loi Kwang would turn into a thin slice of meat squished between two pieces of bread. However, the unbelievable happened again when Cho Loi Kwang transformed into 2 bolts of lightning, dodging to the sides to avoid the stomp from Nam Ti Tu. Lightning shadow vanishing. The people in the audience stared in astonishment. How could this be? They were so astonished because lightning shadow vanishing was still a level 7 skill. This time, they no longer thought that Tu Yending was just lucky. Instead, they began to think of ways to bring her back to their team. Below the stands, after using lightning shadow vanishing to evade the attack, Cho Loi Kwang did not rush to attack Nam Ti Tu. Instead, it dodged and charged straight towards Zhang Xiao. All these actions were not directed by Tu Yending, but were spontaneous behavior of Cho Loi Kwang, as it still remembered Tu Bin's words, when you attack, aim for the enemy's unguarded spot. Once on the battlefield, you must observe the weak first. Then prioritize eliminating them, reducing the opponent's strength. Zhang Xiao did not anticipate this move. Seeing Cho Loi Kuang charging aggressively, he finally activated the level 3 spirit shield to create a barrier right in front of him. But how could a level 3 skill compete with the level 7 Thunderbreak of Cho Loi? Zhang Xiao's spirit shield was instantly shattered before it could fully activate. The entire audience shook with Cho Loi Kuang's strike, and a large hole immediately appeared in the ground. Everyone held their breath waiting to see if Zhang Xiao could retreat safely. The answer was no when they saw the referee Feng Xinyao had to intervene. Feng Xinyao used its legs to grab Zhang Xiao and flew high while he seemed to have lost consciousness. In that situation, Tuo Yending had officially won this match, eliminating the number 1 seed of the tournament and advancing past the qualifiers. The stands, which had previously leaned towards Zhang Xiao, now shouted in unison for Tuo Yending. This overwhelming cheer made her feel a bit uncomfortable even though she had won. Tuo Yending still felt like she was dreaming as her Cho Loi Kuang had learned 2 level 7 skills. After it used lightning shadow vanishing, she was even more certain that this surprising effect was due to that pet shop. The owner of that shop is truly an unpredictable master. Meanwhile, at Tubin's home, he is unaware of the earth-shattering match of Cho Loi Kuang that he personally trained right now. Tubin is only thinking about the headache of needing to earn 10,000 yuan in 7 days to complete the task. This amount of money cannot solely rely on pet boarding. He wants to find another way. But the system currently only allows the shop to serve customers in 3 forms: boarding, renting, and selling food. In the first type, the shop is currently only taking care of 2 pets, but they are both defective, so the boarding fee can only be charged at 10 points per hour. The second type is renting pets, but right now, Tubin does not have any pets to operate. Finally, selling food is the last option he can choose, but Tubin has to personally go to the training area to collect it, then price it based on the quality of the food. Can the food for pets be harvested from the entire training area? Or is it only available in dangerous areas like Loiding Van Haizue? Tubin asked. The entire training area has Loiding Van Haizue. It's just one of many high-level training areas. Moreover, the higher the level of the area, the more rare food can be collected. The system answered, and then Tubin discovered another heartbreaking thing. This training task was released 3 days ago, and for 3 days he was only busy training with Chut Loi Kuang, missing the opportunity to collect food in the high-level training area. Continuing like this won't do. Tubin has made up his mind that within these 3 days, he must become a beast master. Thinking of this, Tubin eagerly requested the system to show him the list of nurturing areas. In front of him appeared many areas divided into levels from top tier requiring 1000 energy points to high tier requiring 100 energy points and mid tier requiring 10 energy points, and the lowest is the beginner level requiring 1 energy point. Although there are countless choices right now, Tubin has only 1 energy point left, so he can only go to the lowest level training area. Tubin couldn't help but regret the last time he took Chut Loi Kuang to level up. If he had just picked a herb, he wouldn't be in such a miserable situation now. As a qualified host, he must have the self-awareness to collect everything related to pets. The system coldly criticized him, and then it quickly outlined the area most suitable for Tubin, named Vakangoi Tinvun Area 1002. Although Tubin was criticized by the system, he did not feel sad. On the contrary, he suddenly became enlightened and swore that from now on he must not miss any opportunity to level up his pets. He was quickly connected to Vakangoi Tinvun Area 102. After landing here, the system gave Tubin a newbie space inside. There are 3 uses of the Eternal Flower Herb Appraisal technique temporarily. It can be taken out at will just by the concept. This time, the search for items lasted for a day. Tubin has 30 free deaths, and he curiously immediately tries to use the concept to take out the Everlasting Flower Identification technique first. The skill scroll disappeared as soon as it touched Tubin's hand, then it transformed into a halo that entered his left eye. All the information about the herbs in front of Tubin became clear. For example, Shale Flower has low rarity with minimal healing effects for rock-type pets. Or the Golden Chrysanthemum Herb, which creates a resting pad for low-level phoenix wood pets and helps recover a bit of stamina after eating its fruit. They are all low-level recovery herbs with common rarity. This made Tubin unable to hide his disappointment, but after walking a while, he finally found something a bit more valuable, which is the rock fruit with rare rarity and the ability to increase fire-type damage skills. This is the plant that fire-type pets love to eat the most. However, this rock fruit plant was being approached by a stone serpent. Its level is not over level 8, with a combat power of only 81 points, rated by the system as having poor quality. Its skills include Tight Wrap Serpent, Swallow Earth Thunder Explosion, and Great Earth Protection. Tubin has no pet to fight, but without thinking much, he directly charged in. Sure enough, valuable herbs live in the most dangerous places. However, the system's storage space also has its limits, so only the most expensive items should be harvested. Tubin slipped past the stone serpent and grabbed the rock fruit that was about to go into its mouth. Upon arrival, he quickly stored the rock fruit in the storage space. But then the beast bit him, directly consuming one resurrection. No matter how many times he dies, resurrecting that many times is worth it to obtain these precious plants. Tubin went all over the map fighting barehanded a total of 30 times. After using up all 30 resurrection attempts, the challenge time ended and the system transported him out of the nurturing area. Tubin returned to his reality, panting heavily. Resurrecting 30 times in one day is indeed a bit excessive, but looking at the pile of herbs he gathered in the outer nebula area 102, he felt that this exchange was truly worthwhile. Next, he just needs to sell them. Tubin's first customer is a relatively wealthy family. This old man's pet has not eaten or drunk for a week, making him extremely worried. His grandchildren, to share the burden with him, have also gone to find the most expensive pet food on the market so that the bird can regain its appetite. This grandson is also a member of the Black Wolf battle team named Fam Ngockin. The old man's pet, upon smelling the food he brought, immediately knocked over the pile of food in front of it, then rushed over. However, when they just fed it the first bite, this pet was in pain and vomited black blood. Their family is worried again. Brother even Yumin Tien, Little Fire, refuses to eat it anymore. What should we do now? Sister Fam Ngockin is anxious, quickly contacting the most prestigious hospital in the city. Little Fire's illness is due to the heart-devouring parasite. We can't delay any longer. If we're late, it will be too late. Their grandfather seems even more anxious, holding that bird in his arms while continuously urging his grandchildren to quickly call the doctor. Just then, his wife came in looking very cheerful. Old Fam, our Little Fire has been saved. In her hand is a pill that looks like some kind of elixir. However, just as she mentioned this, she was interrupted by her granddaughter. Grandma, Little Fire is sick. We need to go to the city for a checkup now. Huh? What illness? Grandma Fam asked in confusion before her granddaughter could respond. The main character, who was weak in Grandpa Fam's arms, suddenly let out a cry and rushed to snatch the elixir from Grandma Fam's hand and swallowed it whole. Unlike before this time, it not only didn't vomit black blood, but seemed to be in much better spirits. Mr. and Mrs. Fam were overjoyed to see this. Indeed, it was just as the owner said. Grandma muttered to repeat what Tobin had said earlier. The Shikshu bird has the attributes of pure intelligence and tenacity. If it eats food with overly complex attributes, it will have a poor appetite and severely, it will vomit blood. As long as you feed it namchu fruit, it will improve on time. If it still doesn't get better, come back to me. Hearing this, the granddaughter looked suspiciously at the box containing the Yuminthian Tukshung in her hand, then asked her brother, "Brother, do you think we accidentally fed Little Fire the wrong food?" "Don't believe what that owner said," Fam Ngockin exclaimed. "Food has different attributes. Eve never heard of such a thing." Saying that, he turned back to his grandmother to ask how much she bought this namchu fruit for. 130 yuan per piece, Grandma Fam replied. What, 130 yuan each? This box has a total of 12 pieces. That's more than 1,500 yuan. This isn't the city. How could there be food that expensive? That store must be a scam. The granddaughter's expression became serious because she had heard before that some scam stores used special chemicals mixed into the food to make it taste better, causing pets to want to eat. Once they stop eating, they will go crazy and eventually become addicted. However, if used long-term, the pet would ultimately lose its life. Grandpa Fam's face turned pale upon hearing this. Fam Ngockin became even more anxious, quickly grabbing his grandmother's shoulders. Grandma, where is this store? What is it called? I have to find them and get to the bottom of this. What is your name? Grandma Fam was confused for a while before she recalled and replied, It seems to be the pet shop. Sung Thursday Tin Ngoc. After that, the two siblings from the Fam family quickly made their way to Tobin's shop. Fam Ngoc Kin, still unclear about the situation, stood in front of the shop shouting loudly. Tobin is a deceitful merchant forcing you to reveal what you mixed into your pet's food. Although they had never met before, as soon as they mentioned pet food, Tobin immediately thought of Grandma Fam's face, because since returning from the breeding area, he had only sold a portion of the colored fruit dear customer. The pet food sold at my store is all natural with no additives at all. Did that pet bird react badly after consuming the colored fruit? Not adding anything, are you sure? Fam Ngoc Kin became even more arrogant. If what you sell has no problem, why does my pet, who has been losing appetite, suddenly want to eat non-stop? You better confess honestly. Fam Ngoc Kin's loud voice attracted quite a few passers-by to come and watch the commotion. They started whispering and discussing, saying they had noticed problems with Tobin's shop for a long time. Just a few days ago, the whole shop was filled with the smell of dog feces, and now it suddenly looks remarkably clean, even selling pet food at high prices, especially the items Tobin sells. Because of this, they began to unanimously believe that the shop owner was a heartless wolf, using food mixed with stimulants to harm people's precious pets. Outside, they were whispering and discussing, while inside, the siblings Fam Ngoc Kin were still fiercely arguing with Tobin. Brother, let's not waste more words with him. Tell your friend at the Pet Food Association to come here and investigate this black shop. His younger sister, Han-ho, spoke up. Tobin had been sitting quietly at the counter, but upon hearing the words, black shop, he suddenly stood up dark-faced and asked, "Do you dare say this place is a black shop? Don't accuse others without evidence. If you have any, please present the evidence." Fam Ngoc Kin's sister was startled and fell back completely panicked, not understanding why Tobin suddenly became so imposing. In general, it was very intimidating. Seeing this, Fam Ngoc Kin swung his hand and charged. "You dare to touch my sister? Are you tired of living?" With a completely dominating physique, this man aggressively grabbed Tobin by the neck while Tobin didn't even bother to fight back. Suddenly, a great force impacted Fam Ngoc Kin's hand, causing each of his fingers to feel as if they were being broken and twisted in immense pain. For Tobin, the current situation reaching a climax prompted the system to issue a new temporary mission. His pet shop was being unjustly slandered, and Tobin's mission was to prove the shop's innocence, showing that the pet food he sold had no problems to maintain his honor. The reward for successfully completing the mission is a chance to enter the breeding area of any level with unlimited deaths and a time limit of 5 days. The penalty for failing the mission is that Tobin will lose up to 10 points besides missing out on that attractive reward. Just the punishment alone is enough to force Tobin to clarify the current situation. Otherwise, he will not only lose points but also affect future customers. Therefore, even though he was very angry, Tobin still had to force himself to calm down and then spoke up. "Everyone, please stop making noise. I assure you, the pet food in the store is absolutely safe. If everyone is suspicious of the store like this, then I can only show my talent." From the crowd, some sneering laughter erupted. "Ha," and asking to show talent. "Finally, the tail is showing you, Blackheart scum. That's right, take the time to close the store and correct yourself." They began to raise their voices, demanding Tobin to close the store, making him have a headache. In the end, Tobin could no longer stand it and shouted for silence. It seems the pressure he created was too great. The crowd actually fell silent. No one dared to say anything. Then Tobin took down a jar filled with lamguin from the shelf and asked if anyone had a low-level water-type pet. Coincidentally, Fam Ngoc Kin's younger sister owned a pet that fit this requirement. Under Tobin's urging, she also hesitantly summoned it. It was a level 1 water-squirting pet with extremely low combat power, poor quality, and skills limited to shooting water jets and cleansing bubbles. Tobin approached with a lamguin and Fam Ngoc Kin thought he wanted to poison her pet, so he anxiously blocked his path. But Tobin didn't even bother to pay attention to him. He squatted down to be at eye level with the water-squirting pet. "This is a lamguin from my store. Whether it's low-quality food or not can be known by letting it eat." Saying that, Tobin extended his hand to the water-squirting pet, which immediately snatched the lamguin from his hand. The crowd gathered around, buzzed again. "What is a lamguin? Has anyone ever heard of it?" "No, but it looks like a lamb bee from the Extraordinary Pet Store. It's just that thing is only for treating constipation in pets." Not long after eating the lamguin, the water-squirting pet showed unusual behavior. The Fam Ngoc Kin brothers were panicking, thinking something was wrong with it. However, when the dazzling green light emitted from that pet, they immediately changed their minds. That weak little creature actually leveled up to its combat power, also increased from level 1 to level 2. Tobin breathed a sigh of relief earlier. He had used an appraisal technique to see that this Lamengwin had the ability to help low-level water-type pets level up. Now that he witnessed it with his own eyes, it seems this news is not false. But after the water-squirting pet leveled up, its combat power only increased by 1 level of quality. It is indeed concerning when a pet's level is raised, it will add a little combat power. The less supplemental increase in combat power, the more the quality assessment will differ. Conversely, the higher the quality assessment will be. At the same time, pet bloodlines are also divided by class. Bloodline class means that pets can increase their base combat power to the original level according to their growth level as they age. For example, a water-spouting pet with a 3rd level bloodline, although not focused on nurturing, will still naturally grow to 3rd level combat power once it reaches adulthood. However, if you want to continue to enhance its combat power, you must carry out nurturing. The crowd surrounding the water-spouting pet at this moment looked at it leveling up, all with eyes wide and mouths agape in amazement. It really leveled up. His leveling up. The simple now fam Ngiosekin was also stunned by this scene, with numerous thoughts racing through his mind. Based on the appearance of the water-spouting pet, he was fairly certain it had successfully leveled up. However, according to fam Ngiosekin's understanding, treasures that can help pets level up only appeared in the wilderness warehouse of the Federation. If Thursday Bin truly possessed such items, then his background would be quite intimidating. Did it really level up? His younger sister squatted down to hug her spirit pet, and then continued to question Thursday Bin with a tone full of skepticism. You didn't secretly swap my spirit pet, did you? Thursday Bin frowned, but before he could respond, fam Ngiosekin rushed over and pressed his sister's head down at a 90-degree angle, hastily apologizing. Sorry, Thursday Bin, sorry we were blind and offended you, please forgive us. Thursday Bin was silent for a few seconds, then coldly replied, 8,007. 100 yuan per piece. I must not be able to choose customers. Fam Ngiosekin hurriedly responded and urged his sister to pay quickly. A treasure that can help pets level up for only 8,700 yuan is already very cheap. Not only did fam Ngiosekin feel that way, even Thursday Bin felt that the herbs he worked hard to collect were being sold at a price too low. However, after several attempts to propose a price increase to the system, he was still outright rejected on the grounds that this pricing was reasonable and could not be changed. Thursday Bin sighed heavily, having to persuade fam Ngiosekin's siblings to buy more herbs to make money. His sister's water-spouting pet had too low of a potential and needed to use the 7-leaf Buddha's heart to improve. Additionally, the red vermilion also needed to use the rock vermilion fruit for a long time to fully recover. I suggest you all buy more. Of course, although wanting to make money everything Thursday Bin said was true because it sounded too reasonable. Fam Ngiosekin continued to nod vigorously, then urged his sister to make the payment. Those behind them saw this and also wanted to buy in a FOMO manner. After all, if it could really help their pets level up, then this price wasn't expensive at all. So that day the shop that had been criticized by Thursday Bin suddenly sold out like hotcakes after a busy day. He earned 31 to 560 and the system automatically converted this amount into 315 energy points. Additionally, because he completed the temporary mission to clear the shop's name, Thursday Bin also received a reward of 1 opportunity to enter the nurturing area at any level within 5 days. However, you shouldn't rush into this because right now Thursday Bin has enough money to buy the awakening solution. He quickly opened the store, spent 100 energy points to exchange for that tiny vial of medicine, and then drank it all in one go. This vial of medicine was no different from plain water yet. After drinking it all, Thursday Bin had to experience an indescribable sensation. His whole body felt like it was about to explode, but the feeling was quite eos, and now he had officially become a beast tamer. Just then a fly flew by and astonishingly Thursday Bin was able to catch it with his bare hands accurately. It seems this is the incredible reaction ability of a beast tamer, different from an ordinary person. The system detected that Thursday Bin still had 215 energy points left and suggested he upgrade to a level 1 Chaos Nutritional Pool. The level 1 Chaos Nutritional Pool required 10 energy points per use with a relatively low failure rate for nurturing. This process also had a small probability of producing low-tier blood pets and a very small chance of producing medium-tier bloodline pets. Meanwhile, upgrading the Chaos Nutritional Pool to level 2 required 100 energy points, and it also had a failure rate for nurturing, though still relatively low. In addition, there was a chance of producing low-tier blood pets, a small chance of producing medium-tier bloodline pets, and an extremely small chance of producing high-tier bloodline pets. Thursday Bin knew he had to choose wisely after reading this. Why should he choose to nurture at level 1 just to save 90 points when his best chance would be to get a medium-tier pet? So Thursday Bin decided to spend 100 points to have the system create a level 2 Chaos Nutritional Pool for him. Success or failure was at this moment. Thursday Bin took a deep breath, then pressed the nutrition button in front of him, secretly hoping that he could create a high-tier bloodline pet on his first try. With a bang, a beam of light shot straight down from the sky. The Chaos Nutritional Pool was engulfed in a cloud of dust, and his senses temporarily dulled further, igniting Thursday Bin's curiosity. Would he succeed? What kind of pet would he summon? Thursday Bin held his breath in anticipation, but what awaited him was a little skeleton, which was just a low-quality demon-type pet, and moreover the lowest tier among demon types. Perhaps only a useless person would have to carry it around. Thursday Bin was so angry he couldn't speak. Did he spend 100 energy points to get this? His luck really was too small. The task of nurturing and summoning his first pet had been completed. Thursday Bin received a reward of a random beast tamer skill book. He opened it and found it was the basic skill Killing Intent, which consumed a certain amount of mental power to evoke the killing intent of the pet entering a berserk state. This allowed the pet, even when heavily injured, to maintain a more intense attack than in a normal state. Thursday Bin fell into deep thought. During the training process there are many powerful masters, so it's only feared that having many basic attribute skills would still be hard to escape from being defeated by someone with a single lethal move. This Killing Intent skill is quite suitable for the small defeating the large combat style, so it seems not too bad. For now he won't criticize that little skeleton anymore. Then the system checked and found that Thursday Bin had met the requirements to trigger the next main storyline mission. The content of this mission is to nurture his pet beast to a mid-level high-grade aptitude, with a duration of 7 days. The reward for the mission is chaotic star power, and the penalty for failure is a deduction of 10 accumulated points. Mid-level high-grade aptitude. Thursday Bin was dumbfounded, unable to believe his eyes. This system really knows how to tease people too much. That Thunder Rat has such a charming attribute yet has only reached low-level mid-grade aptitude, while this little skeleton's aptitude is so poor that it doesn't even compare to low-grade. The difficulty of this mission is too high. Isn't it just asking him to turn a pile of trash into a pile of gold? Contrarily to its master, the little skeleton seemed very cheerful. Thursday Bin finally realized one good point about it, which is that it's quite entertaining. Just then Thursday Bin heard someone calling him, and moreover the voice sounded quite familiar. "Boss, are you here?" It was Thursday Yen Din. This time returning to the shop, she also brought along the Thunder Rat together with another girl. Thursday Bin opened the door and stepped outside, and upon seeing Thursday Yen Din he immediately displayed a clearly disappointed expression. "Why is it you? Again? Is there something you need to do?" "My name is Thursday Yen Din, not 108. Thursday Yen Din suddenly approached. Thursday Bin then began to interrogate him, but the focus was on this boss. The behavior of the Thunder Rat yesterday was completely different from before. "Did you do something to it?" Just that made Thursday Bin break out in a cold sweat. He also thought that the pet beast he was taking care of had some problem, and a customer came here to complain. So he firmly shook his head and said he hadn't done anything other than taking it for a walk to exercise a bit. Of course he didn't mention taking it for a walk in the breeding area. "Are you telling the truth?" the Thunder Rat said then. Thursday Bin turned towards that rat. Even though he spoke very softly, it startled it so much that it appeared very panicked. Thursday Yen Din observed Thursday Bin's attitude and her pet beasts without missing a second. He said he had taken the Thunder Rat to exercise a bit, which is also to admit he had nurtured it before. Moreover, that rat wasn't afraid of the level 4 demon dragon dog on the arena yesterday, yet now it was trembling in front of Thursday Bin. This made her even more suspicious of Thursday Bin's abilities. This Din Din sees this boss as nothing special, and the shop is both small and lacking in vitality. "Are you sure we didn't go the wrong way?" At this moment, the girl next to Thursday Yen Din suddenly whispered in her ear. Thursday Yen Din hurriedly made a silent gesture, then replied even more softly. "Right now I can't explain, but in short, this boss might very well be a level 7 expert. Don't provoke him, otherwise our little lives will be hard to keep." "How can you tell that?" The girl found it confusing but listened to her friend and stayed quiet. Meanwhile, Thursday Bin, who had just been identified by Thursday Yen Din as a battle pet master of at least level 7, had actually just become a level 1 battle pet master a few minutes ago. After playing with a lightning mouse for a while, he still didn't see the system issuing any quests, so it seemed this time it didn't relate much to the pet. Seeing those two girls whispering to each other, he became impatient and had to speak up first. "What's up? Are you here to complain that my fees are too high?" What was originally just a very normal question through Thursday Yen Din's perspective turned into a question full of intimidating them, and thinking about it, it was true. It was not reasonable at all that she only paid 108 for the lightning mouse to become so powerful. Thursday Yen Din, being considerate, thought that Thursday Bin was definitely testing her sincerity, so she hurriedly transferred another 1,000 to him. Saying this was a token of her goodwill and hoping he wouldn't refuse. However, Thursday Bin refused to accept the transfer. Thursday Yen Din started to break out in a cold sweat, thinking he must find 1,000 too little. So she boldly transferred 5,000, but this time he still refused to accept the transfer. Thursday Yen Din's face dark, and unable to hold back, she exclaimed, "Isn't it enough yet? What are you doing continuously transferring money like this?" Her friend beside her, seeing this, asked in confusion. Knack, help me, this is very important to me, this Thursday Yen Din, huh?" The other friend immediately understood the issue and transferred more money to her. For Thursday Yen Din, knowing a hidden big shot like Thursday Bin was a rare opportunity. If you don't let go of the small catch, how can you catch the big fish? Therefore, she didn't mind spending money for this situation. After borrowing money from her friend, Thursday Yen Din directly transferred 10,000 yuan to Thursday Bin's shop, but this time she was still refused. Thursday Yen Din wouldn't give up and wanted to take a gamble to the big shot, so she transferred a full 100,000 yuan. Thursday Bin was overjoyed to see money falling from the sky. He really wanted to accept this money, but when he clicked to accept, the system blocked him, saying that he was prohibited from receiving money outside the standard in the name of the shop, as the shop's valuation was bound to the system and could not be modified. So Thursday Yen Din was rejected for the 4th time. This time she was really about to cry. "We have no eyes. How much does the great master need? Please name your price." Thursday Bin was furious, regretting the money, but still had to act noble and replied not to do that anymore. It really wasn't necessary. If there was anything, she could just say it. Thursday Yen Din was moved to tears by your words. She didn't expect that Thursday Bin would not need anything at all. It turns out there are still people in this world who are both young and capable, yet do not care about fame and fortune. If Thursday Bin has said that, Thursday Yen Din will not hide it anymore. She told the story of the competition she had to participate in 3 days later, but all the remaining pets were heavily injured. Therefore, the last hope is placed on this Thunder Mouse, which is why Thursday Yen Din wants to entrust Thursday Bin to nurture it for 3 more days. The opportunity came too coincidentally. If the Thunder Mouse returned to the store, leveling up Little Skeleton would be much simpler, so Thursday Bin put on a cheerful expression. Just then, the system also sent a new notification detecting that customers needed to nurture pets and opened an early basic pet nurturing service. The host can refer to the service price list below to accept specific orders. The cost to nurture a pet from level 1 to level 3 is 10,000 yuan. From level 4 to level 6 costs 100,000 yuan. From level 7 to level 9 costs 1 million yuan, and the highest royal beasts, the nurturing cost reaches 10 million yuan. Thursday Bin was wide-eyed, not expecting that nurturing pets could earn so much money. However, for now, he can only accept orders with a rank of level 3 or below. Then let's start with this Thunder Mouse first. Thursday Bin then informed Thursday Yen Din that the nurturing fee for pets at his store for 3 days is 10,000 yuan. This amount, while not cheap, is still worth it if he can nurture the Thunder Mouse like in the last competition. Furthermore, with Thursday Bin's nurturing skills, it's even more reasonable. Thursday Yen Din didn't think much longer and immediately agreed to make the transaction valid quickly. Thursday Bin received 10,000 yuan into the store account, which was converted by the system into 100 energy points. Besides nurturing, may I ask if you need any other services? I can also conveniently treat injuries, Thursday Bin said again. Thursday Yen Din's eyes immediately lit up, not expecting that sending pets for nurturing here could also treat injuries, unlike going to the hospital where the spirit pets are both far and expensive. She nodded repeatedly, then took out all her injured spirit pets, immediately startling Thursday Bin. Thursday Yen Din sent a total of 3 pets for nurturing, but just as Thursday Bin was about to accept the order, the system had another new notification. It was found that there was a customer requesting nurturing, and to prevent it from affecting the store's reputation, it was suggested that the host level up quickly. What does nurturing have to do with reputation? Thursday Bin thought to himself the free nurturing was initially made from scrap spirit stones with very weak spiritual power, and it also contained complex and chaotic waste radiation. Although it contributed a small part to helping the pets grow, it also had a high chance of causing them to mutate. Thursday Bin gritted his teeth in anger, having just earned a little money when this system found a way to squeeze him. In that case, I'll buy 3 more breeding slots to raise them as well. You just completed the transaction when a new notification came in. 3 new breeding slots plus 2 to replace the old ones, totaling 50. If the energy points cannot sustain this process, the breeding slots will also disappear. I remained calm in response to your reaction, which made Thursday Yen Din anxious. Boss, what's wrong with you? I'm fine. Thursday Bin tried to regain composure. The 3 bread for 3 days cost a total of 21,600. Please transfer the payment first. Thursday Yen Din nodded repeatedly, thinking this boss is really strange, but she didn't dare delay the payment. After receiving the payment, the system quickly converted it into energy points for Thursday Bin. The total current points are 291. Now the shop is holding 5 pets, all using level 2 breeding slots, costing you 1 point each day. After adopting this group, Thursday Bin also activated the side quest. The requirement is to double the battle strength of the customer's pets within 3 days. The reward is 3 primary essence pills. Failing will deduct 10 points. Below are the requirements. May I ask if you accept? This shows that Thursday Bin has the right to refuse the quest this time. You stood in front of the status window for a long time, carefully considering. Thursday Bin currently needs to upgrade the talent of the little skeleton to upper intermediate level, meaning from level 1 to level 7. If compared, upgrading that thunder rat to level 7 would be easier. However, you are someone who loves challenges, so in the end you still accepted this side quest to take on the task. Thursday Bin thought of using this opportunity to dive into training. Whatever, I want to enter training at the highest level. A series of places appeared for you to choose from. The suitable place is the little skeleton's leveling area. This is Thursday Bin's final decision. The Chaos Undead Realm did not hesitate. You pressed your hand against the screen display. Not paying attention to your feet, the tentacles appeared and moved, and the blood-red tentacles enveloped everything. The smell of fresh blood was overwhelming. A planet. A blood moon on the shore filled with human bones. The death aura was pungent, causing you and your pet to feel sluggish. Not looking back, oh, the death aura is heavy, making it completely impossible to do anything. Suddenly a corpse slammed into the little skeleton, causing it to shatter. The shattered little skeleton led to its death. A giant skeleton swung a club directly at you. There is an enemy. The little skeleton resurrects. The thunder rat tried to use it, swinging the club hard, hitting the ground without hitting the target, making it furious. Hiss in the distance. Thursday Bin smirked. The little skeleton revived. The thunder rat attacked it, watching the skeleton. Thursday Bin taunted. It turns out that in the highest level training, not all monsters are royal beasts. The monster attacking you is the giant skeleton. Attribute of the demon beast battle system. Level 7 combat power, level 14 low quality skill to reattach severed chai destruction war roar. The little skeleton shattered its bones, leading to death. Thursday Bin anxiously ordered the little resurrects. Loi Kwang tried to use thunder break. Receiving the order, he began to unleash electricity thunder strike, fearing Thunderface was not small enough. Thursday Bin shouted loudly. The thunder sword appeared. The path was launched, swinging the sword to chop thunder, cutting its hand as fast as lightning. The chop went straight down onto the giant skeleton's hand. It screamed in pain. A hit from it made Loi Kwang cough up blood. Loi Kwang tried to rupture internal organs, leading to death. As if by magic, smoke appeared from his hand, and the bone fragments from each cut gathered back to him. It leaned on the gem on its head, gathering bones piled on the ground to recover. Seeing how the gem worked, Thursday Bin was delighted. That gem enhanced the skill to reattach severed chi. It seemed to be a precious item. Once again he ordered Loi Kwang to try to resurrect the little skeleton. Afraid of what happened earlier, they both clung tightly to his legs. Looking at them, Thursday Bin sighed in frustration. His hand moved in a circle, revealing a book. A skills book appeared announcing you have mastered the combat skill of killing intent level 1. As the skeleton gradually regained its shape, he cleverly transferred some power to them, increasing killing intent to level 1. The little skeleton received the power and rushed towards the giant skeleton. Seeing this, the overconfident monster launched an attack, causing the ground to sink. Once again, the little skeleton died. Loi Kwang tried dying, the host died. How could these attacks kill Thursday Bin? You are normal again, making it go crazy, resurrecting in place. It seemed that Thursday Bin had grasped the weakness of the skeleton giant. Although the last attack was very strong, it revealed a fatal weakness. Its center of gravity was asymmetrical, making it very difficult to maintain balance. With his own eyes, he continued to observe its attacking move. The Loi Kwang mouse looked fierce but couldn't withstand a single blow. The Loi Kwang mouse began activating the little skeleton function sitting in a corner of shadowy dusk. Another move was launched, Thunderbreak, a sketch idea. He ordered one to chop the legs, one to strike the neck, with the little skeleton responsible for support. I want that gem, the Loi Kwang mouse agreed. Loi Electric Strike attacked directly at its hand. A straight attack from head to toe. The giant skeleton ended up having its head severed from its body. The gem fell out, quickly caught by the little skeleton below. A notification board appeared. Loi Kwang tried to complete the kill. Combat power increased by 3 levels. Looking at the function board of the Loi Kwang mouse, Thursday Bin was quite happy. The skill increased shadowy dusk creates 2 clones existing for a short time using electric force. There is a very small probability of creating 3, and it can clone multiple times. Well done. Over here, the eyes of the little skeleton are absorbing the red color of the leaves, which surprises him a bit, and he quickly turns to see what the little skeleton is doing. The book introduced this is the unique ability to absorb souls of the demonic beast type, which can level up by invading the energy of its kind. After a while, the stone completely disappeared and the little skeleton became stronger than before. The system announced that the combat power of the little skeleton has leveled up, gaining the skill of basic swordsmanship. Happy. He patted its head a bit too hard, causing its head to swing. That's great. I originally wanted to let the lightning mouse eat you, but now while eating soup it can also eat the bones. Indeed, the little expert is not extravagant or wasteful but diligent and thrifty. A new event appeared behind Thursday Bin. A lightning felt it, and wow, a woman who is half human and half bone appeared, leaving him stunned. What is that? Wow. Her power radiates so strongly that the system doesn't even know this person's attributes, level, combat power, quality, and skills all are blank. Look at that strength. Thursday Bin sweated, not daring to assess the high-level creature of this training area. Maybe through her, he can find the top-tier guard. Her hand shot out with mysterious power, aimed straight at him, as if she was sucking the souls of all 3. All were fully absorbed by her, thus the host died. Lightning tried and died. The little skeleton died. Thursday Bin continued to resurrect at the spot, exclaiming, wow, that was strong. Facing her, and already dead, without hesitation he asked, excuse me, are you the final boss of this place? She turned back, just recovering. Thursday Bin smiled brightly. Haha, may I ask, do you have intelligence? Without saying much, she continued to absorb his soul. Before he could ask anything, he vanished again. Wait, let me finish. The announcement continued. Host dead, remaining resurrection chances. May I ask if you want to resurrect? Sitting in the resurrection waiting area, Thursday Bin seemed bored, looking at the board in front of him. Resurrect at the spot. Random resurrection. Language barrier is ridiculous. Do you think of yourself as free lunch? What a waste of precious time. This place makes him too tired. Forget it, let's see somewhere else. Thursday Bin chose a new mode, random resurrection activation mode. He fell into a new space. It was really quiet. This is below. Hundreds of people are walking, as numerous as ants. He didn't know where this place was, but upon closer inspection, he saw familiar faces. Earlier you said you were the one serving free food earlier. She saw Thursday Bin with a confused face quickly approaching. He dashed down like a bolt. Oh no, a magical hand tightened around Thursday Bin. Oh no, you've been standing on the head of the top guy without realizing it. He blinked and asked, who are you and how? Give you 3 seconds to answer. The arm tightened more, making Thursday Bin struggle to breathe, feeling a strong pressure. I just happened to pass by. You are the leader of this place. The force of the grip isn't enough to take my life, which made him wonder, why not deal with me directly? What is it probing? Stuck in an unstable arm, Thursday Bin had to think of a damned way to escape. Being assassinated by Mew, he was fortunate to be revived in hand. The initiative to leave or stay was his to decide, but if he was imprisoned, the system's resurrection ability will not take effect if too much time is wasted. Failing to complete the mission would be a big deal. Seeing him silent, the giant skull spoke up to remind him it could approach me silently. You are definitely not an ordinary person. Answer me, I will not ask again a third time. Hearing the way he asked, he realized something and understood it was a fear of his strength. The spell of sobriety still has room for action. They may have never seen humanity and probably don't even know the existence of the system. Why not take advantage of this point? Deceive it without hesitation. Thursday Bin began to act. I am a clone of the strongest in the human dimension, here to test your level of threat. If your level of threat is too high, all monsters will be eliminated. Hearing that, oh really, moving forward, it can be understood as protecting our king. Over here a gentle light flickered in his eye socket, breaking through a group of soldiers. Watching how he killed his soldiers, Thursday Bin smiled, thinking this is indeed his loyal subordinate. Just killing like that, doesn't your conscience hurt? Is the thing you are best at bullying the weak? A strong grip made him explode like a balloon. The host has died. He glared at the soldiers, furious, claiming that the protection was insulting him. There is nothing in this world that can threaten me. Thursday Bin looked at him, recovering while responding with disdain. Oh really? I didn't expect him to be so easy to deceive. Deceived now, as long as he is not imprisoned, everything is easy. The soldiers below were in disarray. Those looking back at the time-space, unwilling to lose, he brought the ring to absorb magic power, shooting straight at him, burning Thursday Bin, then continued to use sharp traps to impale him. The host has died again, and again the host has died, and Thursday Bin revived gradually, his legs recovering, stepping out of the smoke. A body exactly as before appeared. He scoffed, weak, the assassination skill becomes stronger and I feel no pain. I have gradually adapted. Seeing him keep reviving, the guy's eyes turned red. Being able to continuously reverse the time-space of the undead realm. What exactly is this human claiming to be an intruder? Terrible, the host has died and revived again. He aimed straight at the gem. That gemstone worth a lot, right? He raised his hand, aimed directly at the ring containing the stone. I want to get it before it completely disappears. Thursday Bin's hand managed to place on the stone, taking it quickly like the wind. The stone disappeared. The ring was empty. He was startled to realize that the time-space shift was indeed a time-space shift. So angry, the guy left the highest position. He was so big yet could simultaneously use two supreme laws, and now unexpectedly lost to you. The distance of teleportation is still a field. I searched. Who is it? Who on earth is it? The notification system has randomly chosen to resurrect at the original location. Thursday Bin breathed a sigh of relief, still thinking he would continue to sit back and wait for death. So naive, after pretending to be done, he ran away comfortably. You raised your hand to the little skeleton. The little skeleton put down the jelly and showed it to you. Let me show you this treasure. Seeing the little skeleton happy, Thursday Bin smiled brightly and boasted. Do you like it? My Thursday Bin's favorite pet. How could it only gnaw on scraps? You commanded, let it absorb. Next time we fight, it will be your turn. Suddenly a monster appeared out of nowhere, charging at them with a fierce look. But the little skeleton was one step ahead. Before it could touch it, it used lightning-fast speed to slash through the monster. Basic swordsmanship. The system immediately displayed a notification. Successfully killed. Combat power leveled up, level 4. Mission progress 46%. Time remaining 1 day. The head of that monster was severed from its body, falling to the ground and rolling towards another creature. It stepped on that head. It seemed quite angry, pressing down hard, smashing the head of the other monster into tiny pieces. This time it was a whole army of monsters. Their bodies covered in a deep purple hue. Wide wings on their backs, eyes shining with extreme cruelty. Thursday Bin just smiled calmly, softly saying to the little skeleton, "Wow, so many experience points to give. It's all yours." As soon as the little skeleton finished speaking, it quickly annihilated them. The system sound rang out. The little skeleton has completed the kill, leveling up to level 6. The lightning mouse has completed the kill, leveling up to level 6. Mission progress 94%. Time remaining 14 minutes. After such a continuous killing spree, Thursday Bin was quite tired. Haha, these miscellaneous fish are really unwilling to fight, still lacking so much. But just when he wasn't paying attention, a monster lying on the ground suddenly opened its eyes. The cells in its body were continuously multiplying. It let out a roar, growling. The body of the monster quickly regenerated as if it were a black hole in space. Pulling the corpses of nearby creatures towards it, that monster grew larger and larger, the missing parts of its body quickly replaced. It roared loudly. Thursday Bin suddenly realized he had overlooked it, muttering, "Isn't it dead enough yet? You smiled smugly. Just then the little skeleton and the pet beside it also got into battle-ready positions. With killing intent you immediately ordered, just destroy it, that will definitely be enough progress. The monster threw a scythe straight at Thursday Bin. They realized the scythe was getting closer and closer, so you commanded the little skeleton. Little skeleton with basic swordsmanship immediately swung the blade in his hand to block the attack from the scythe. With the increasingly advanced skills gained from recent hunts, the young little skeleton split the scythe in half with lightning speed. The monster became even angrier, letting out a loud roar and glaring at them. Its two hands slammed down hard on the and instantly blue arms quickly broke through the ground, wriggling continuously. Those arms tried to grab Thursday Bin and his pets, temporarily hindering their ability to move. He exclaimed in surprise, "What?" The system panel displayed a notification. Mission progress 94, remaining time 7 minutes. Time is about to end. Thursday Bin frowned in annoyance and replied, "No need to remind me," he thought to himself. Damn, it's that hard to solve confinement technique again. While thinking, he commanded Lightning Mouse to use its lightning strike on its central attack. Lightning Mouse responded to the command, chirping, and instantly a green electric current radiated around it. That current quickly transformed into a large pillar of light with immense power aimed directly at the monster's core. But surprisingly, the monster was unharmed, and strange hands around it began to gradually disappear, perhaps because they were absorbing the blow. The hands quickly multiplied, moving closer to the monster, as if protecting it. At this moment, he suddenly realized he was blocked. Then the system panel appeared again, but this time each feature did not display specific information from attributes, level, combat, power, aptitude, to control abilities. Thursday Bin frowned and muttered, "Indeed, it dares not reveal itself." But two things were confirmed. One, the blocking hands were not afraid of damage skills. To that focal point was indeed its weak spot. The system panel quickly urged, remaining time 3 minutes. Thursday Bin turned to Lightning Mouse and shouted the command. Lightning Mouse, unleash the lightning strike. Gather the power of thunder covering the surface of your body. Lightning Mouse released layers of electricity enveloping its body, causing the hands gripping it to be affected. Lightning Mouse let out a chirp. Immediately the hands were attacked by the electric current, causing them to release their grip. The system panel displayed a notification. Lightning Mouse has mastered the Thunder Wrap ability. Effect uses lightning to ward off evil, protects the body, can maintain damage effects, and simultaneously cause physical paralysis at close range, greatly increasing effectiveness against demonic enemies. Joy was evident on Thursday Bin's face. He excitedly said, "Eve mastered it." Electric currents began to spread rapidly through the air, making crackling sounds as they passed through the hands, causing them to halt their actions for a moment. Lightning Mouse sent a stream of electricity towards the monster, making its body feel pain. It let out a roar. Thursday Bin quickly removed the hands from his body while ordering to break the confinement. Then little skeleton right at this moment was filled with excitement, wearing a proud smile. Haha, the sword in his hand has also turned into a cursed sword. He decisively slashed straight down at the monster, creating a long red streak. A notification appeared announcing that the little skeleton had completed the kill and his battle power leveled up to level 7. The Rat Thunder completed the kill and his battle power leveled up to level 7. He remembered that moment and smiled, saying that Bloodstone just absorbed a small part of the battle power of the little skeleton and has already grown tremendously. If it can absorb more later, that would be great. The system then announced the main quest has been completed. You have received the Chaotic Energy Map. A part of the side quest has been completed and you have received the Strength Elixir. The rewards have been automatically put into the storage space. While closing the training area and returning to his shop, Thursday Bin spoke identification spell. The system interface displayed complete information about the little skeleton. The little skeleton is a pet with demonic attributes, rank 2 upper tier, battle power level 7 middle tier, above average aptitude. Capable of mastering puppet manipulation, undead servitude, corpse control, undead roar, and intermediate swordsmanship, combining with the lowest rank pet in the demon system, the awakening of the king's innate talent. Thursday Bin stared at it and indignantly spoke. With a rank of only 2, the battle power of the little skeleton should at best reach level 7 aptitude, yet it has only just reached above average. System, are you sure you haven't calculated that wrong? The system interface replied, the evaluation level is based on all the data from when the little skeleton began its endless chaos until now for comparison. The host does not need to doubt. Thursday Bin recalled the image of that Bone King and replied in a deep voice, since the beginning of the endless chaos, how interesting. The system interface displayed other information. Rat Thunder, a pet with dark attributes, lightning type, rank 3, middle tier, battle power level 7, lower tier, above average aptitude, mastering capabilities. The 10 Directions Thunder Prison has many lightning images, lightning remnants, lightning depths, and thunder coverings, calling the undead. The undead claws were once a normal beast, but now they can stand on their own. Thursday Bin smiled in satisfaction, not expecting that a lightning-type pet could also comprehend undead skills. He silently thought that if someone in the arena recognized it, calling the undead, what would they think? He looked over at the pets resting and regaining their strength. His voice filled with hope, truly making people look forward to it. Suddenly Thursday Bin pulled an old scroll from a spatial system. What is this chaotic energy map system? The system replied that this is an ancient cultivation method that has been passed down, which includes the host's cultivation rank. The system explained that the map of chaotic undead uses the body as a vast universe, comparing stars with the C meridian points throughout the body for cultivation. Completely different from the commonly used energy cultivation. Thursday Bin recognized the miraculous nature of this item and smiled, asking, so does that mean I can cultivate too? Thursday Bin closed his eyes and began to sit cross-legged in meditation. In another space, your entire body is surrounded by a gentle stream of chaotic cosmic energy. You begin to realize how to condense energy into the essence, increasing its mass. When refining skills, you just need to spiral it around, creating a vortex to release the energy from your body outward, thus affecting the outside world. This is a level 1 chaotic energy map, the essence realm. Thursday Bin thought to himself, focusing his gaze on the light sphere condensing before him, condensing the vortex, essentially absorbing other energies. Right. He quickly wrapped his hand around the small rays of light around him with the vision of a battle beast master. Isn't it very simple to catch these? The streams of energy seemed to be caught, but they dissolved into his grasp. He curiously said, can't catch them, these energies pass directly through my body. Bin then thought in another direction, if so, what if he used his body to block the drifting direction of the energy? Thinking this, he stood to block the drifting energy sphere. He looked at the energy sphere and joyfully said, it worked indeed, you can only rely on energy to absorb energy. Thursday Bin suddenly remembered and reached into the system space to take out a vial. Right. I have 3 vials of power pills, not sure of their effectiveness. He didn't think much and quickly poured 3 unclear red pills into his palm. Whatever Thursday Bin was thinking, he quickly raised them to his mouth and swallowed the 3 pills. His entire body felt strengthened. The energy sphere in front also emitted a brighter light than usual. The essence in his body grew larger, and the system notification congratulated him on successfully entering the essence realm. The character control panel has been unlocked. He looked at the system panel and exclaimed in amazement, my combat power has increased by 3 levels. Thursday Bin human attributes level small, essence realm combat power level 3, intermediate competence rating for mastery of killing intent. Thursday Bin suddenly showed dissatisfaction. System, the picture looks quite nice, but why is the rating a question mark? The system responded, the current strength of the host does not have the authority to see. Please quickly level up your combat power. He chuckled to himself, I've only taken 3 of these energy pills and my combat power has already reached level 3. Intermediate regular cultivation would take at least 4 years. Too strong. He then eagerly asked the system, does the system have more power pill missions? The system panel chimed in, this pill only works for levels 1 and 2. You have successfully entered level 3, please explore and cultivate on your own. Additionally, this universe, though formed by the chaotic energy map, is designed to simulate the real universe. The system panel also issued a warning at the same time as the host is absorbing energy, please be cautious of larger stars to prevent being sucked in. Thursday Bin sternly asked, what happens if I get sucked in? Is the practice interrupted? The system answered, frankly, destroy the original spirit. He reacted sharply. Here we go again, the system's notification board swore and reminded for the first time. Moreover, in the chaotic energy universe, the movement of time is similar to normal time. Please pay attention to scheduling. Thursday Bin tired, wiped the sweat, and said, this is an opportunity and risk coexisting. He silently thought, big fish eat small fish. He calmly considered, or just avoid the big stars and absorb the smaller ones. He softly said, it's less troublesome than the training area. Suddenly a thought flashed in Thursday Bin's mind, bringing him back to a few moments in the past. He said in a deep voice that he was just a bit bored. I miss her. She seems to be a third-level battle pet master. That time he took a full punch from KO Thursday Bin and wondered if he could take another punch from her now. As night gradually fell, the tall buildings quickly flickered with lights. Tan Nu gently said, "Eat a bit more, don't let yourself be hungry." Thursday Bin wiped his mouth. His mother's cooking skills are amazing. You've eaten enough, go back to your room. Tan Nu replied to that little brat before. Why are you being polite? Go upstairs, she gently reminded. Your sister has been training in the practice room for a few days, don't disturb her. Tomorrow morning I'll make the corn cake that you love the most. Remember to eat it before going out. Tobin turned back and smiled at Tan Nu. Got it, Mom. He glanced at Tan Nu, who was busy in the kitchen. Although she is not the biological mother of the original host, she seems to treat the original host quite well. At least he can feel the intimacy and warmth of family. Tobin stretched to warm up. He tiredly said, though Lang Noyet is busy preparing for the competition. Seems to be at the same school as Though Yen Din. I originally thought of finding her for a bit of sparring. He looked towards Lang Noyet's room, where energy was being concentrated, then thought to himself, forget it, they'll just go back to the practice room. Tobin sneaked a look through the door, reassuring himself. The energy is really dense. Observing my sister practicing a bit shouldn't be considered peeking, right? She was lying relaxed on the bed, but the energy around her did not condense. He was astonished. The energy is really abundant. Tobin stared at her. Why can she absorb energy just by lying down, and moreover the scale is so powerful? He then speculated, the energy seems to be attracted by something drawn into her body. Unless this is a cultivation method taught by the Pet Master Academy. Tobin then reached out to lightly touch the flow of energy. The energy in the real world is weaker than the energy in the chaotic universe. And it is evenly distributed. The rule of energy in the chaotic energy universe is divided into dense and sparse areas. I'm afraid the giant star has surrounded the evenly distributed energies. Tobin quickly sat cross-legged and thought, if I could learn the cultivation method from the Pet Master Academy in the chaotic energy universe, wouldn't the speed of cultivation be through the roof? Tobin immediately imitated Lang Noyet. She was spinning her own energy, so I tried to see as well. After thinking, a whirlpool of energy was gradually gathering. He suddenly realized, the pull, right? Why didn't I think of that? Tobin explained, when there is enough mass, just relying on the whirlpool to create the pull can draw the energy closer for absorption without needing to run around. The two brothers Tobin sat on one side cultivating. He then tried a different method, seeing if there was any difference between spinning clockwise and counterclockwise. At this moment, Lang Noyet suddenly woke up. She rubbed her eyes in discomfort and thought, why do I feel like absorbing is getting more exhausting? Did I doze off? Tobin smiled, succeeded. He tried one force and the opposite. Tinchuan thought for a moment, then he raised both hands. The two energy orbs were getting larger. Lang Noyet jumped up, feeling like the energy was being pulled away more and more. She confusedly said, what is this feeling? She looked around strangely. The energy suddenly solidified and could not be absorbed. Lang Noyet suddenly thought of another possibility and exclaimed, could there be a powerful person passing by recently? Streams of energy continued to flow heading towards Tobin's room. Lang Noyet let out a frustrated cry. Her face flushed from exhaustion. Then heard the strange noise and worriedly asked, Noyet, what's wrong? Lang Noyet shyly covered her embarrassed face and replied, Mom, I'm fine. I'm cultivating. She then steadied her spirit, frowning in thought. This strange energy definitely has something unusual, but the direction it just shifted to was clearly towards the room of that useless brother. Lang Noyet narrowed her eyes at the slightly ajar door. Tobin was sweating on one side, his face soaked. He let out a light sigh, looking at the stable whirlpool of energy before him, and said contentedly, I've got a good grasp of it. There was not a single person in the shop. In the shop, Tobin was immersed in cultivating the chaotic cosmic energy. The energy was continuously swirling and being absorbed by Tobin. He couldn't help but exclaim, so comfortable. The energy from the stars was continuously being absorbed by him. As long as he maintained a good distance, he wouldn't be pulled in. Thus, Tobin also realized that he could cultivate even while sleeping. Suddenly, he sensed two people entering the shop. "Boss, I'm here to pick up the pet," Tobin mumbled. "What's with the size?" He left his cultivation, opened his eyes to greet it. Turned out to be her hearing. Tobin's mumbling. Yen Din and Nyak hurriedly hugged their chests in embarrassment. "What size?" "Boss, hey." He quickly cleared his throat to explain. "What I meant was energy. Your energy is too weak. You need to work hard on cultivation. Otherwise, how can you control stronger spirit pets?" Yen Din asked in surprise. "Is the pet even stronger now?" She thought to herself. Could it be that, in just 3 short days, the electric mouse leveled up? Tobin was secretly worried when bringing the level 7 battle pet back to the academy. Since the average was only level 3 to 4. Would there really be no problem? Outwardly, he still said, "Wait a moment in bringing out my pet." A moment later, Tobin brought out the electric mouse and handed it over. "Take it, you already cleared the payment last time." Yen Din took back the electric mouse, softly thanking. "Thank you." She wondered if the fur color of the electric mouse had changed. Moreover, looking at the other pets, she noticed that their moods seemed to be quite low. After being apart for just a few days, they saw their owner and had no excitement at all. Could it be that they are reluctant to leave this place? Tobin sat on the side, pretending to be impatient, and waved his hand. Go on. Yen Din then considered, sending them to be cared for a few days has made the pets develop feelings, even if emotions were transmitted through the contract. The energy between the owner and the pet at the beginning had no feelings, only maintained basic obedience. Once the contract is dissolved, there will be no connection left. Nyak checked the condition of the pets and couldn't help but sigh. Their injuries seemed to have fully healed, and moreover, their fur had become brighter. Yen Din also sighed internally. This is truly a store with heart. She sincerely thanked the owner, and thanked him for taking such good care of them. "Or could you introduce me to some food?" I thought to myself, wanting to use this to repay a favor. "Never mind, this time I won't kill her." "You introduce it, then let's buy this one piece for 1,200 for Lak Feng to eat." Yen Din responded in surprise, getting 1,200 for one piece. After a while, Yen Din went to an open area to suggest a battle strategy. "With a bit of time left, I want to warm up first." On the other hand, she thought to herself, the changes in the lightning rat made her very curious. How much stronger has it become? She said seriously, Lok, summon your strongest pet." "No need to hold back," Nyak cheerfully replied. "Oh, are you that confident?" Sop. As soon as she finished speaking, she recited the summoning spell. Nyak confidently reminded, "If it gets hurt, don't cry." Yen Din analyzed seriously. Indeed, it has appeared the rock-type humanoid pet with high bloodline is the ace that Lon Nyak is most proud of. Although it was not yet mature, it already had battle power of level 5. She thought to herself, I hope the electric mouse can endure. Just need to test the strength of Loi Duan and Loi and Tan Tung a bit. Immediately after, Yen Din ordered, "Let's go, lightning rat." With bright eyes, she shouted. Immediately, the electric mouse rushed in to attack the earth dragon. Seeing this, Nyak casually commanded, Tang, play with it a bit." The earth dragon formed hand seals with its 4 arms emanating a source of energy, and the ground around rose up with countless columns attacking the electric mouse. The electric mouse emitted electricity all over, skillfully dodging while simultaneously closing in on the earth dragon. Seeing this, the electric dragon quickly reacted, breaking the stone columns to create sharp stones attacking the electric mouse. Din quickly ordered, "Lightning Shadow Clone Mouse." The electric mouse immediately obeyed, splitting into 3 clones. Nyak was very surprised to see this. It can actually split into 3 clones. Yen Din was mostly delighted. The lightning shadow clone. The 3 clones of the electric mouse directly bypassed the earth dragon to attack Nyak. Nyak saw this and quickly used the shield while panicking and shouting, Din, let it fight with Tang. "Ah, my shield is very weak." Yen Din replied, reassuring. Don't worry, I'm only letting Chatloikwang approach you, not ordering an attack. She silently calculated. Diantang Dota is a high bloodline pet with extraordinary observation skills. This is a particularly good opportunity to test Loyantantung. Diantang Dota quickly used its skill to block Chatloikwang. The moment Chatloikwang rushed in, Diantang Dota struck down towards the mouse. A loud noise rang out before Naknyak's shield. Diantang Dota caught Chatloikwang in its hands. Both Naknyak and Yen Din were astonished. Did you catch it? Suddenly, Chatloikwang appeared out of nowhere, stepping on the face of Diantang Dota. And at the same time, the clones disappeared. Diantang Dota was completely fooled. Suddenly, Chatloikwang exuded a terrifying aura, causing Diantang Dota to tremble. Diantang Dota ran away shouting, "Oh no." Naknyak was surprised. What's wrong? Tang? So scared. Isn't it just that you couldn't catch the real one? Diantang Dota knew it couldn't win, wanting only to protect Naknyak, regardless of her shouting. Tang layers of earth and stone began to appear, surrounding Naknyak and Diantang Dota, forming a closed wall. Naknyak still didn't understand what was happening, hurriedly reassuring her pet. Tang, I'm very safe, let me go quickly. Yen Din was bewildered, even witnessing it with her own eyes. She still couldn't believe it. Diantang Dota has a high bloodline and a countering attribute, yet it was scared by a Chatloikwang, a low-level bloodline scared like this. Yen Din happily clenched her fists. It's hard to believe it's so strong. Then on the arena, the commentator enthusiastically opened the annual voting system for the match of Feng Sun Academy. Now the match officially begins, and the commentator starts the introduction. From the left side of the main arena is the new dark horse of the year, 11-2 Yen Din. The commentator shifted to another contestant, and on the right side of the arena is a veteran who made it into the top 10 last year, Kenyan Tuliku. He had a sharp face with a confident smile. He explained the rules as usual. Both sides take turns, bringing out 3 pets to battle, and the one who eliminates all the opponent's pets first will win. Before the commentator finished speaking, Li Ku had already summoned his pet. Come out behind him, a beast emerged, Thursday Tuion. Teacher Li Ku summoned his pet first, and the audience in the stands buzzed with chatter. Look quickly, he actually summoned his pet first. Isn't he afraid of the opponent targeting him? That's right, how could last year's top 10 make such a basic mistake? Li Ku is too overconfident. Yen Din began to analyze silently. Thursday Tuion. Huh? The water-type pet has a mid-level bloodline specializing in stealth and assassination. Then she immediately summoned okay, let's go. Soon after, Lok Fuang appeared through the gap. Yen Din said seriously, Lok Fuang has a mutual restraint attribute, so we have to see whose combat power is stronger. The commentator continued enthusiastically, wonderful. The first contestant sent by Thursday is Lok Fuang, who has a high-level bloodline. Compared to the mid-level water-hiding beast, it is truly a strong enemy. How will Li Ku respond? Suddenly, someone's arm was raised. It was Li Ku. He calmly declared, I concede. The commentator was also surprised by this situation. Did Li just say he concedes? Did I hear that wrong? Li Ku replied with a dangerous expression. That's right, I said I concede this round. The commentator remained very professional and continued to comment. Although not understanding what happened, Li chose to surrender in the first round. Though Yen Din won. Even though Yen Din won the first round, she remained very cautious. Silently contemplating, he was smiling. What was he thinking? Suddenly, a spatial crack appeared behind Li Ku. He said with a sinister smile. Sometimes, to be sure the prey has taken the bait, the lure is indispensable. Yen Din seemed to notice something. Immediately, a web spread from the spatial crack across the arena. Soon after, Jebwa appeared behind Li Ku. He confidently analyzed. Lak Feng may not be the strongest beast in her hands, but it is definitely the hardest to deal with. He adjusted his glasses and Chut Loi, Kwang Tu, Nyam Su, and Hobachasai all fought on the ground. I just need to send out beasts with high combat power to easily crush them. Then Li Ku began to calculate. Only Lac Feng specializes in aerial ambush. Even 5th level pets find it difficult to attack it. They may even die from exhaustion and must be prioritized for resolution. Li Ku smiled arrogantly. Sorry, classmate 2, I have researched all the materials about you. You are definitely going to lose. Suddenly, a flame flew towards him. Li Ku looked down on it casually using a shield. Soft and powerless. Before he finished speaking, the shield was burned to ashes and Li Ku screamed, "I'm 20 hot." Yan Din had a confident expression. Are you done talking? Li Ku angrily gritted his teeth. He immediately commanded the Diabo beast using piercing technique. Sharp spikes appeared and stabbed at Lac Feng. Yan Din quickly reacted, commanding Lac Feng dodge. She thought to herself, it's too fast. Yan Din continued to command, increase power, quickly escape from it. Use full force attack. Lac Feng quickly dodged, flying up off the ground, escaping the attack range of Diabo. While dodging it quickly accumulated energy, counterattacking with 2 moves. Li Ku calmly commanded the Diabo beast. Immediately a shield appeared blocking the attack. Seeing Lac Feng's attack easily blocked, Yan Din was stunned. How is that possible? Although it's said that Earth-type pets can resist fire flames, this earthen wall is still a bit too hard. After saying this, Yan Din's dust cleared away, revealing the earthen wall without a single crack. Li Jai smugly mocked, now you realize the star of the lark on the calendar is only level 3, and dares to confront a level 4 mature Earth-type beast. Earth prison confinement, he commanded. The commentator simultaneously analyzed the situation. It's appeared Earth prison, the specialty most familiar to Earth-type beasts. It's said to be able to crush any creature of a lower level than an Earth-type beast. Its cruelty even makes high-level pets wary by 3 parts. Seeing the attack, Yan Din quickly ordered a response. The net is retracting. Lark thought of a way to rip a hole and quickly used a 3rd-level force enhancement skill. Despite desperately attacking, Lark still couldn't escape the net. And the net was tightening more and more. The commentator's voice rang out again. Under Lark's attack, the Earth prison of the Earth-type beast still continues to tighten. It's too desperate now. The Earth prison is tight. Even the battle pet master is in danger. The commentator recounted. Even conceding is entirely reasonable, but contestant Su still persists. Yan Din remained resolute. Lark struggled to break free, but the more it struggled, the more wounds it had. It cried out in pain. Seeing Lark injured, Yan Din anxiously shouted, "Lark, don't struggle anymore, that will only make the injury worse." Li Ji smugly commented, "Everything is going according to my plan. Just concede, the pain will immediately disappear." Seeing this, Yan Din, though unwilling, couldn't bear to let Lark be hurt. She decided to concede. I concede. Before Yan Din could officially concede, Lark let out a shriek. In its mouth, Lark gathered a powerful source of energy. Immediately that energy was aimed forward and released, tearing the net apart, cutting through the Earth-type attack barrier, rendering it unable to act. Both Li Ji and Yan Din were astonished. Did the judges just recognize the ultimate beam shot? Li Ji was stunned. The 2 rocks were severed, along with the voice echoing ultimate beam shot from SUS Lark, which had comprehended an advanced level 8 skill. Just one move caused the Earth-type beast to lose its ability to act. Nanfeng also looked horrified, cautiously saying, "No way." Although Lark is classified in the high bloodline among all high bloodline beasts, its actual aptitude ranks at the bottom. Moreover, the basic inheritance skills do not include ultimate beam shot. Hyo Ji, with a smiling expression, secretly observed and then praised. No matter what, this Lark has truly done it. The most important thing is that it is still not mature. We can say it has limitless potential. The vice principal of Phoenix Mountain Academy suddenly spoke up from behind. Don't forget that this little girl's lightning mouse also once used lightning break. Nanfeng, hearing this, immediately became interested and turned to ask, "Sir Vice Principal, what is this young lad's name?" That year, suddenly the powerful hand of Hua Ku grasped the front of his shirt, lifting Nanfeng up. Trung Sao, with a cold and sharp face, warned, "Her name is Yan Din. I have already taken a liking to her. How could you want to snatch her away? His gaze trembled as he looked at Huaku and quickly explained. Haha, I was just asking a little. On the other side, the vice principal, unfazed by their actions, thought. I never expected a genius like this to appear this year. If she can join the pioneering team, establish achievements, and gain more glory, it will be a huge support for the academy. In the stands with thousands of people watching, someone suddenly recognized. This is her, the girl who cultivated the garden mouse. Next to her, someone chimed in, damn it, my pet hasn't even mastered any advanced skills yet. Right at that moment on the battlefield, Lok Fong was surrounded by fire, letting out a loud roar which left Yen Din astonished. It has leveled up, not only comprehending the extreme ray level 8, but also as a result the battle power has increased to level 4 lower rank. Still not finished with the surprise, she immediately froze as if she couldn't believe this, such a high talent. Could it really be her own Lok Fong? It shouldn't be the memory that brought Yen Din back to the day she met Tu Ben with the words he said. Our store's nurturing service can not only treat wounds, but also conveniently enhance comprehension ability and improve physical condition. She thought people still have doubts to be so convenient, like this is too exaggerated. At the same time, the battle MC announced. Round 2, Yen Din wins, please both sides prepare for the third match. Li Ku, hearing this, stomped angrily and said, what kind of devil luck do I have here? Clearly I was so close to winning. Third time's the charm. He gritted his teeth, starting to explode with anger and growl. Indeed, this Lok Fong is the hardest to deal with. Well, let her expand her knowledge a bit. Li Ku Tang, overly enraged, shouted, what is real terror? Immediately he summoned the Wind Demon Beast, and its appearance startled Yen Din. This is the mature Wind Demon Beast with 4 wings, combat power level 5 upper rank. Above, Hua Ko also looked very shocked. Isn't it forbidden for students to bring ferocious beasts? What if something happens? This implies that ferocious beasts are pets. Their temper is too aggressive, lacking humanity. Nam Fong heard this and sneered at her. Hua Ko, your thinking is too conservative. Come on, how many people die in the wasteland every year? Those ferocious beasts won't scream. The match began. The vice principal from behind also spoke up. No need to worry. He stroked his beard and calmly continued. Our teaching staff is very strong. The referee is an advanced expert. Nothing will happen. The vice principal, watching the increasingly intense match, slowly said. As for the Wind Demon Beast, I guess it's using some methods to be summoned. After the match, I will definitely teach that student a lesson. Li Ku, weak and desperate, commanded Thursday Fong Ma Van Tung to attack. But Thursday Fong Ma coldly ignored him. Seeing this, Li Ku cursed at it, you disgusting beast. He thought to himself, the level difference is too great. How can they not obey? Forcing a monster like this is indeed a bit reluctant. Yen Ding took this opportunity to channel energy to Lak Fu, enhancing strength and boosting wind power. Gradually the energy intake increased, enhancing perception and strengthening defense. A good opportunity. Lak Fu directly attacked the Beast Master, seizing the match. The deep gaze of Thursday Fong Ma flashed towards Yen Din and Lak Fu. It seemed to use teleportation ability, swiftly moving towards the tiny Yen Din. Under the feet of Thursday Ma Fong, unprepared, Yen Din's face turned pale too fast. The MC, focused on observing the match, was suddenly astonished. A move from Lak Fong Baitu was swiftly neutralized. The sharp claws of Thursday Fong Ma gradually approached Yen Din. In desperation, she exclaimed, what do you want to do? In a flash, it left a wound on Yen Din's shoulder and arm, causing blood to seep out. At the same time, her leg was also torn, stained with blood. Hua Ko saw this scene and turned to the vice principal, asking what is going on. In this round, Yen Din has already lost. Why hasn't Thursday Fong Ma stopped? On one side, where no one cared, Li Qi had lost consciousness. It's over, someone shouted. Damn it, Li Qi has fainted. At this moment, Thursday Fong Ma frantically attacked Yen Din, causing her to panic and shout, stop. Stop. The vice principal suddenly issued an order. Thursday Fong Ma had completely lost control. The referee quickly suspended the match and added, listen, immediately go to Fong then and command go. The bird god Fong saw the target and immediately flew to prevent the tragedy. Suddenly a burst of red energy flashed and rushed to save Yen Din's life. Before it could be noted, the judges looked on in horror along with the voices of the audience. The speed is too fast, what is that? And even faster than the phoenix bird. The discussions had not stopped, it was too much already. At this moment when the situation was set, the MC saw this and spoke. Lightning Mouse Toe contestant summons the Lightning Mouse to block the Van Tongue's charge. Hoa Ko regained her composure and silently pondered something was not right. If it were a beast tamer hit by these, they might be done for. Just now To Yen Din did not make a move to open the gap to summon Mouse Lo Kuang. From the very beginning it had always been on the field. But if that were the case, the ability to conceal the aura of Mouse Lo Kuang is too strong. Seeing the situation change, the host announced. Then the third round of the match begins. The Beast Wind Demon starts to attack. Yen Din carefully analyzed the number of exchanges increased. How could they avoid this? Mouse Lo Kuang quickly responded using the ability to summon the undead. The undead immediately appeared, causing everyone around to be astonished. The audience in the stands became frantic. Summoning the undead. This Mouse Lo Kuang could even use skills from the demon system. Unbelievable training. I also want to bring Mouse Lo Kuang. Suddenly Yen Din felt herself floating in the air. Then pulled back by a force, the barrier dodging the attack from the Beast Demon Wind. The battle became more intense than ever. The host at this moment was also not short of words. Live long anything can be encountered. Mouse Lo Kuang could actually use the summoning skill of the demon system. Not only that, but it could also prevent Wan Tuong from attacking. Mouse Lo Kuang seemed to have accumulated more strength, accompanied by a formidable aura. Directly opposite it was the Beast Demon Wind, also not lacking in aura. It let out a roar wreaking havoc on all fronts, easily tearing the ground apart. Two contrasting abilities faced each other, neither showing weakness. Yen Din saw Mouse Lo Kuang confronting directly like that and became worried. Mouse Lo Kuang, the host, was also very surprised by every situation at hand. Mouse Lo Kuang actually allowed Mouse Lo Kuang to face the 5th level Beast Wine Demon. Upper tier mature player 2 was too reckless. Then suddenly silence enveloped the place. Mouse Lo Kuang charged at the Beast Wind Demon ferociously, causing the host of the match to hold their breath. The result of recklessness was that the Beast Wind Demon had its left side torn off by Mouse Lo Kuang, causing everyone to go into an uproar. Swiftly eliminating Mouse Lo Kuang managed to take down the Beast Wind Demon that was losing control. The Beast Wind Demon lost all strength and collapsed, with discussions among people growing louder. The Beast Wind Demon was actually slashed with such a large wound. The aura surrounding Mouse Lo Kuang radiated powerfully, making the viewers exclaim. The power of Mouse Lo Kuang is frightening like this. The referee looked at this scene with wide eyes and thought. The killing intent is heavy. Could it be that Mouse Lo Kuang wants to eliminate the Beast Wind Demon? The gaze turned to Yen Din. The referee silently speculated, is this the intention of that dog? Yen Din's mind was in turmoil, questioning why she felt so scared even after winning. Unless Chua Lo Kuang has lost control as well. The referee continued to follow his own stream of thoughts. Everyone this time was playing too big. At the same time he ordered Fong Thon to advance. Chim Fong Thon. After issuing the order, the referee thought further. In a malicious match, even the lightest damage to a pet must deprive it of its qualification to participate in the match. Seeing the irresistible temptation, the referee decisively decided not to let such a promising star have its future cut off. Sensing something, Chua Lo Kuang returned with a fierce aura, looking with sharp eyes. Without much thought, immediately launched an attack on Fong Thon. Saw the situation was not good, and the referee shouted loudly. Chim Fong Thon returned. Fong Thon was hit painfully, fell down, and howled. The referee was not willing to accept that Chim Fong Thon could be harmed like this. Slowly observing, the referee revealed a trembling face and thought, how could this be? In level 7, even pets can only be counted on one hand to keep up with its speed. Not to mention Chua Lo Kuang. The audience above couldn't help but be thrilled to witness the scene in front of them with Loin Guk Ten Feng. It is said that once trapped by Loin Guk, one will immediately be pierced by Van Loi. Even the pet of the rock system cannot handle it. The deputy principal looked on and wondered if Chua Lo Kuang could confidently grasp Loi Duan level 7, that would be exceptional. Yet now Loin Guk Ten Feng level 8 has appeared. Nam Fong, seeing the interesting spectacle, also spoke up. Such a supreme pet skill, but calling a Chua Lo Kwang to learn it, even a medium-blooded pet could sell for a sky-high price. Hoa Ko next to him looked very interested and thought to herself, this Chua Lo Kwang dares to face Chim Fong Thon level 7, that's quite courageous. Then she suddenly said, I really like this newcomer more and more. Fong then, at this moment, was gradually recovering, accompanied by an extremely bad mood. The referee saw this and became worried. Chim Fong then, the fury has reached its peak. It gathers wind and creates a massive whirlwind. Fong Thon exuded boundless power, rushing forward. Chit Chua Loi Kwang was not to be outdone, fiercely confronting without fear, creating a whirlwind that seemed to sweep the entire arena. The referee hastily controlled Chim Fong, then calmly observing that things were not improving, the referee thought hard, oh no, if Chim Fong then fights against the out-of-control Chua Lo Kwang Fong, then will lose control severely, with power accumulating more and more. The whole arena could be turned upside down. Yen Din was dizzy in confusion, coming back to her senses, and only then did she react. She suddenly misinterpreted joyfully, Chua Loi Kwang, you have learned another advanced pet skill. He smiled brightly, looking back at Yen Din. Chit, you came to cheer for Chua Loi Kwang to celebrate. Chit Chit, my great treasure, oh my god, is Kwang not losing control? The host announces the results of the match on all forums. The winner of this match is To Yen Din. In the cheerful atmosphere, the host adds congratulations to her for advancing to the next round. Elsewhere, Tobin is yawning and stretching, wondering if this is already considered impressive. The person on the other side of the screen speaks, using their energy to inject into the body of this fragrant cat, removing the meridians in its front legs. This way, the front legs of this fragrant cat can be enhanced. You pay close attention and listen further in this cultivation method. The difficulty lies in being extremely familiar with the structure of the spirit pet's body. Otherwise, the energy injected will not be digestible and will have adverse effects. The girl on the screen measures the cat's legs. Everyone observes the changes of the fragrant cat. The front legs grew longer by 2 centimeters to 12 centimeters. Moving on to another technique. The girl continues. The final result is that the attack power of the front legs is increased by 1/5 and the training time only takes 3 months. Tobin watches the video and thinks, so it turns out that enhancing combat power in this world is so difficult. No wonder To Yen Ding was so scared. Should I also make a video to attract customers? Outside the store, a sports car stops right there. Nak Kin gets out, looks inside, and calls out, hey boss, long time no see. He scans the store and says there seems to be quite a bit of new stock. Tobin hears the noise, looks up, and immediately recognizes him. Oh, is your hand okay? Nak Kin excitedly responds, boss, you must have never been to a city hospital, right? Tobin looked at his childish behavior with indifference and had no intention of caring. Ngiosi Kin adjusted his clothes and said, as long as you give a little money, even if your whole body is shattered, it can be put back together. Hearing that, he quickly guessed. Oh, so does that mean you have a lot of money? Tobin glanced at the shelf and hinted to him. Then why not take care of the store's business a little? These soul food items could be discounted for him. Nak Kin looked at the listed price in shock. What was once cheap is now 100 times more expensive. His sister is equally surprised. One piece of food is almost as expensive as your surgery fee. Now the business deal falling through makes Tobin lose interest. There's nothing else I can go back now, I still need to cultivate. Nak Kin, in a low position, joins his hands and says, hey, I was just trying too hard earlier. In terms of strength, you are still better. To be honest, I came this time to invite you down the mountain. Are you interested in reclamation? Memories flood back with countless wonders from the past. Lam Tin used to be a resource-scarce planet. Until that day, a massive wave of energy would open up space, forming a rift in the cosmos. A magnificent wave of emotions continued to flow. These unstable rifts in the cosmos were like bridges connecting with other unidentified planets. At that time, when facing strange and dangerous things, there were planets rich in resources, and there were also planets filled with fierce beasts. Encountering the pure destruction of nature, there were even stars as hot as burning fire. By combining benefits from the cosmic rifts, humanity could continuously acquire resources from other planets and develop. Until now, building a powerful nation, but unfortunately that prosperity only lasted for a few hundred years. In order to compete for high-quality cosmic rifts, humanity fell into a state of continuous internal conflict for many years. The cruel reality left many people in difficult situations, causing the population to decrease sharply. More than half of the world seemed to be drained of strength. Nearly 70 of the Lam-Tin area became barren, no longer suitable for living. Taking advantage of this moment, the remaining people finally reached a consensus, forming a federation to migrate together to settle in places where cosmic rifts rarely appeared. To survive, the federation fully trained beast tamers. A door to a new era opened at that time, also selecting top talents to pioneer exploring and seeking treasures in the cosmic rifts. Hearing this, Suabin fell into deep thought and silently wondered, exploring, huh? Gok King sneakily looked at his expression and added, actually last night a new cosmic rift appeared outside the Longjiang city base. Our Black Wolf team is the first exploration team, but unfortunately we were ambushed and lost a blood lake fiery-tailed fox. Suddenly Suabin's system panel appeared. Congratulations host, you have activated the side mission to find the lost beast. Success mission reward, a manual for training divine and demon skills. Mission failed. The host's score decreased by 10 points. He quickly regained his composure and seriously thought about the secret skill training method. The chaotic energy map the system provided last time had a significant effect on improving strength. This precious book is probably not much lesser than the previous one. Thinking of something made Tobin slightly smile. At that moment he also wanted to test his combat skills a bit. Putting those thoughts aside, they decided to head to the reclamation base. The car zoomed powerfully toward the destination, causing the area supervisor to quickly announce over the radio it's the team vehicle. Let it through. The tires gripped the dry road strongly, leaving a cloud of dust behind. They continued toward reclamation base number 38. Upon arriving, the two got out of the car. Ngot King eagerly raised his hand. Captain, we have arrived. Kunglit glanced over and said, this brother is the esteemed expert you mentioned. May I ask your name? Tobin replied calmly, Tobin bin Voki, nothing unusual. Liang felt intrigued upon hearing him. We often hear the kid fam Ngot Kin mention you. It's great to meet you today. Indeed, a hero emerges from youth to brother. You are so young, only 20. Turning his head, Tobin was surprised and instinctively replied 18. Just as he finished speaking, the three of them were stunned, their faces showing disbelief. Liang quickly composed himself and said, 18 years old, not even of graduation age, a battle beast master, huh? Which school are you a student of? Tobin didn't think much and replied, self-taught. No master, I learned by myself. Ngot Kin was so shocked that he stumbled over his words. Kunglit momentarily didn't know what else to say, so he suggested to brother, this time going to the empty water ravine is dangerous. You need to register your identity before joining our team. Moreover, for the convenience of cooperation in battle, we hope you can let us get to know your battle beast. Tobin smiled slightly, summoning his battle beast while saying, no problem, but I have no intention of joining the reclamation team. I'm just here to find the blood beast DMV. Upon hearing this, Liang could no longer maintain his calm demeanor and reminded, you're young, but your words are quite bold. Do you think that joining the reclamation team is as simple as joining? Kunglit noticed the situation was unstable and intervened, hey to brother, is a guest invited by little fam, don't be rude. At that moment a pair of eyes filled with killing intent appeared, accompanied by Tobin's voice come out. When summoned, the pet landed powerfully, causing those witnessing it to be awestruck. Ngot Kin was completely shocked. He spoke unconsciously. Is this suddenly little skeleton dropping a bomb? They immediately shouted in unison, little skeleton. After that, Tobin stepped forward to pick up its head and took out the glowing red stone. Clearly before setting off in the training area, absorbing for 7 to 8 days, this head was still so large, but going to the wilderness should be enough. Kunglit and Liang looked at his actions and words and were stunned. Ngot Kin over here was curious, do you only have one pet beast? Tobin responded, that's right, currently I only have one. Hearing his answer, he stammered in fear. Here, Mr. To you might not know, the captain and our second in command have this hot temper. If I really made this mistake, I would be done for. I adjusted the little skeleton's head and calmly said, don't worry, I accept the assignment, I won't let you down. Suddenly he commanded it to launch an attack unexpectedly. The little skeleton drew its sword, slashed a few times, then stopped coolly. The three of them witnessed such a performance and couldn't help but exclaim, so fast, but nonetheless, but they only saw the action of sheathing the sword before they could think further. The places where the sword passed were cut into large and small pieces enough to terrify them. Wow! At this moment they were entering the base and the system suddenly announced, please step forward, enter identity information. Tobin followed the system's request and it began to scan for face recognition as he was being recognized. When the recognition was complete, The system's voice rang out, "Hello Tobin," then the screen displayed the information. Tobin mailed 18 years old, Long Dragon Kindergarten, St. Juan Primary School, St. Juan Middle School. High school lineage, beast tamer, no clan, father Tuvin's son, mother Lee Tanyu, sister to Long Noyet. Then continued to announce received authorization to register as a temporary developer. Hearing the announcement, he wondered, so that's all. Nok King next to him looked at Tobin's profile and had countless questions. Ordinary high school, yet really relying on self-awakening to become a tamer. Moreover, really only 18 years old. Liang saw his expression like that and reminded him. Don't celebrate too early. Temporary developers can accumulate merits while developing but do not have the privileges of official developers. If they commit any wrongdoing outside, they will still be punished like ordinary people. Nok Kin saw Tobin still standing there and said, "Mr. To let's this way," he added with a smug expression, "Don't worry, Mr. To if you ever get caught, I will definitely bail you out, no need to thank me. I as a developer still have some privileges." Tobin heard clearly but did not show any expression, thinking all day about breaking his privileges. These people are truly hopeless. Rescuing them towards the Federal Development Warehouse. The door gradually opened heavily. When the door opened completely, Tobin glanced inside and was astonished. This is the inside of the Federal Development Warehouse containing strange items. Kunglit pointed to the thousands of items behind and said, "Brother, to the wilderness area is particularly dangerous. Choose a few treasures for self-defense, ill-treat you." Tobin, still in shock, thought that they were all ordinary treasures not seen in the market. Seeing the look on his face, he chuckled and said, "Of course, the ones that are too expensive, you understand." Tobin came to his senses and happily replied, "Got it." Nok Kin, observing around, couldn't help but be amazed. Every time he came to the treasure warehouse, it really broadened his horizons. Tobin approached the item, thinking to himself that some were even as beautiful as the treasures from the training area, unless they were also collected from another realm. Seeing him hesitate, Kunglit had to speak up. "It's been quite a while, brother, to have you made your choice." Tobin wasn't interested in other defensive items, and then he pointed to something nearby. "Just give me these." Nok Kin was astonished when he saw the item. This is an item contained in a glass case. It is the basic technique. Furthermore, it is the basic technique for battle beast masters from level 1 to 6. A level 1 treasure, the labor cost is 10. Like a joke that made Liang laugh heartily. "Fam, NGOC Kin, what kind of person are you inviting? Haha." Kunglit also burst out laughing. Nok Kin, feeling flustered, quickly said, "Hey boss, do we need to go to that wilderness area now? The captain is worried you might get hurt, so you should take armor and weapons. Why did you choose a technique for cultivation?" Seeing his exaggerated reaction, Tobin calmly replied, "Before succeeding, I don't want to owe too much to others. You can rest assured I have a firm grasp of Kunglit," he observed Tobin quietly. "Techniques are something you cultivate for a long time. This person either has no brains or knows very well about his own strength. Oh, I hope it's the latter." Receiving another item in hand made him confused. "This is NGOC Kin," quickly explaining to him. "This is a gift from the captain. It can block most attacks from level 5 beastmasters. If our Black Wolf team fails again, it will be very embarrassing." Hearing that, Tobin's eyes became deeper and he replied he understands. A long time passed and the sky had turned dark. Moving to the void water crevice, the ground here was dry and rocky, scattered into pieces, making it very difficult to traverse. Tobin was walking when he paused slightly, asking regarding this void water crevice, "How much do you understand?" Nok Kin looked ahead and replied, "The danger level is temporarily rated as Class B. Typically there are demonic beasts hiding and no rare mineral deposits have been discovered yet." Hearing the answer, he immediately thought, demonic system. I guess Eve come to the right place. Then he continued speaking, saying, "At that time, there were 2 seriously injured people who will fill the vacancy of the other person. They finally moved up above." He then cautiously reminded the remaining assistant, "The 2 coming are said to be ruthless. You must not anger him." Suddenly a giant foot of a bird swooped down, landing right in front of the creature of Tobin and NGOC Kin. He panicked and lost his balance, causing Tobin to feel like he was falling. Then he exclaimed in shock, "Who is it over there that they don't look at?" Then he teased, "You guys are so slow. Eve been waiting so long, I almost fell asleep." Suddenly the scenery here fell silent, as if blending into the darkness. Tobin managed to support NGOC Kin and said, "Eve got you." He looked at him and still spoke confidently. "Yeah, luckily my composure is strong. If I fell down there, even if it were stronger than level 6, I could get crushed." Tobin helplessly thought, all right, stop bragging. At this moment, if he didn't step forward to shake hands and greet Kung Leet's side and heard that his friend's blood beast DMV had been lost, he immediately replied it was just a moment of carelessness. If it weren't for her being in a daze every day, I really wouldn't want to go in again. He quickly added, I already told you, just bringing elite troops to the wasteland to find me is right. Suddenly his gaze met Tobin's, and he could only hear a faint sound remaining from Kung Leet. Haha. Everyone heard him retract the bright expression he had earlier, and wondered, who is he? Why is he not in the documents? Kung Leet lightly patted Tobin's shoulder and introduced, this is the external aid that Tu Pham invited, and not hearing that he couldn't help but be curious to brother, you look so clean, is this your first time in the wasteland? He looked at him, should he explain a little about what just happened? No, at this moment it felt a bit awkward, his expression darkened. Oh, what does he want to ask me? Blades have no eyes. This little issue can't be handled based on what does he want to go to the wasteland. Kung Leet heard this and replied, hey to brother, although he is not a formal pioneer, he understands the habits of spirit beasts very well. His strength can be considered to have passed the test. He spoke with a tone of sarcasm. If passing the test is enough, then anyone could become a pioneer. Once we enter, everyone will listen to my command, otherwise don't blame me for being ruthless then. Without glancing at Tobin, he thought, that brat dares to glare at me. Kung Leet continued to assure without paying attention to Tobin's expression behind him. Don't worry about this, I brought him, of course I will manage him well. Not seeing the fierce glint in Tobin's eyes, he hesitated. What's wrong? This kid's cold gaze made him feel as if he was looking at a corpse. He then questioned, is he really the first person to enter the wasteland from those in the pioneering team entering through the cracks in the cosmic rift? Nok King showed an embarrassed expression. He quickly explained to Tobin. Boss 2, as pioneers we are all straightforward people. Don't take it to heart. Tobin showed understanding, replied nonchalantly, then said, because my way of thinking coincidentally is the same as his. Soon after everyone had entered the crack, Tin Kung Leet commanded, increase the light. We are in another planet now, and without warning we have not detected any fierce beasts. Stay close. At this moment Kung Leet directed us to go through that forest. Liang quickly responded, yes, the space around the dark forest was filled with fog, and the water here was red like blood, along with strange spirit beasts existing at this moment. The spy bird summoned by Liang to scout the surroundings reported the shore ahead only has small pets. The type is still undetermined. The fog is too thick, it's hard to distinguish. Rejected. Kung Leet asked further, is there any road nearby that could go around? Liang replied, no, the other roads all have some ferocious beasts. Meanwhile his pet directly said, then let's go over there and take a look. If it's a high-level ferocious beast, we'll talk about it later. The night vision device helped the whole group see the spirit beast hiding on one side observing. Kung Leet identified it as an adult mountain tiger, estimating its combat power to be around level 5, but lacking confidence said, just kill it directly, quick victory. Kung Leet reminded, don't stay here too long. He replied, no problem, the credit will go to me. Bin sensed something was off and quickly stopped. Wait a minute, are you sure you're not mistaken? Let me borrow the night vision device to take a look, and without hiding his displeasure asked back. What do you mean, are you doubting our judgment? Bin calmly explained, mountain tigers drink very little water, mainly relying on eating small insects to supplement their water intake. Moreover, everyone be careful to sense the surrounding temperature with this weather. Mountain tigers won't casually come out to move around. Nok Kin also agreed, that's right, mountain tigers are tropical spirit pets, they shouldn't appear in a damp and cold place like this. Are you sure you're not mistaken? Liang confidently replied, I saw it was definitely a mountain tiger. Meanwhile he didn't check again and looked down on it, saying it was indeed a mountain tiger, and the amateur commander was just wasting time. Immediately he ordered to kill it. Chan Sam Kwada immediately aimed at the mountain tiger and attacked. Suddenly the outer skin of the mountain tiger burned away, revealing a dry skeleton along with countless tentacles. At this moment Kung Leet quickly realized that the mountain tiger was already dead. Couldn't have been disguised as a mountain tiger. Just as he finished his sentence, Chan Sam Kwada bit tightly onto the dead mountain tiger. Seeing this, Bin quickly reminded Lam Mek. If you don't tell it to let go, quickly retreat immediately or it will die. Meanwhile he angrily shouted, who do you think you are? When will it be your turn to give me orders? Suddenly Chan Sam Kwada's eyes were invaded by a black liquid. It was in pain, screaming and struggling. Zeta Quang Lit quickly asked to Huindi, you mentioned soul beasts earlier. I rarely encounter demon-type pets, could you explain a bit? Tabin explained, mature soul beasts have level 7 combat power, often disguising themselves as weak beasts to lure prey to them. Once they enter the prey's body they will quickly dissolve from the inside. Hearing this, he replied to Huindi, if it's level 7 let's act together. Tabin declined Quang Liat's suggestion, continuing. No, the most terrifying thing about soul beasts is not themselves but what is symbiotic with them. Blood soul beasts. Ngiosi was horrified and asked in confusion, soul beasts, blood soul beasts, wait a moment boss, to what are you talking about? Tabin further explained, where spirit beasts appear, there are usually blood beasts lurking. In the midst of everyone's panic, Tabin voiced his speculation, if I'm not mistaken that lake is not water but blood. As soon as Tabin finished speaking, Chan Samquada was overwhelmed by a blood beast lying in the lake. Seeing its prey, the blood beast gradually revealed itself without panic. Chan Samquada's consciousness has been severed. Monster Tabin shouted, hurry, the level 7 blood beast is providing nutrients to this blood beast, at least level 9, maybe even royal beast. As soon as Tabin finished speaking, the blood beast fully revealed itself and quickly attacked the fleeing group of Tabin. They frantically summoned their beasts. The bloodthirsty Ma Lang beast, the snake branch Long Kung Lit, ordered, everyone hurry up. He immediately directed Liang to plan the escape route. Behind, the blood beast was quickly chasing after them, sensing the signal from its beast. Liang quickly replied, there are two paths. To the east there are several unidentified ferocious beasts. To the west it is temporarily safe. The west is the location of the crystal water crevice. The east is where the blood beast lake DMV went missing. Liang anxiously asked, which way should we go now? Kung Lit helplessly said, damn, is there really no other option but to shout? Withdraw to the west. Eve already lost a beast. If we recklessly go deeper it's like seeking our own death. Kung Lit turned to Tabin and asked, brother, to what do you think? Tabin smiled confidently, my suggestion is to head east directly without panic. What did you say again? Not shout loudly, are you crazy? Just one blood beast, haven't we had enough? On the other side, Liang also agreed. Yes captain, I also agree to withdraw. Kung Lit looked at Tabin and asked again, brother, are you serious if we go the wrong way? He replied, seriously, I'm not joking at all. If you still want to find the blood lake to return, then trust me, hurry, there's no time left. Hearing this, Kung Lit decided, I hope this is not the final decision of my life. Then he ordered Liang to the east. Liang responded, yes. Kung Lit continued to command into the canyon and everyone quickly advanced deep into the canyon. Behind, the blood beast was still closely pursuing, determined not to let go of its prey. Suddenly Liang's face changed. Report, Captain, the ferocious beasts in the canyon have all actively fled. Along with his words, all the ferocious beasts on the map had retreated. Kung Lit looked towards the blood beast, gritting his teeth, and said, realize that the blood beast was behind us. So Kin Nhivin Chi, why didn't you understand what Kung Lit saw? He exclaimed in surprise. Everyone realizes that after entering the canyon the blood beast's speed gradually slows down and its desire to pursue decreases. It's not hard to believe, he inquired, the blood beast's desire to chase has weakened. Tabin said in surprise, how can that be? Although the blood beast has a high combat power, it is not the type that actively hunts. He explained further, it prefers to lure through the spirit beasts for prey to come to it willingly. Moreover, this canyon is too narrow for it. We are not some exquisite delicacies. Only a fool would leave free food outside, especially to burrow underground for stimulation. Kung Lit turned his head and thought, that's right, if I had such deep understanding I wouldn't choose to retreat without seeing. Kung Lit looked at him and shouted, hey, why are you looking at me? I don't know the characteristics of the blood beast. Right after that, Luong reported, Captain, we are about to reach the blood MIT lake, but there is a fierce beast lingering at the exit of the canyon. Tabin asked, did you hear that? Without being dazed, he continued, bring me the night vision equipment. Although annoyed, he still handed it to Tabin. Don't get cocky with me, take it, you poor ghost. Tabin took the night vision device and replied, thank you. Activating the device, the system's voice sounded. The night vision image enhancement software has been installed. In front of him, a spirit beast appeared holding a wicked evil sword. Recognizing that spirit beast, Tabin said, it is a fully grown death soul wraith, predicted combat power level 5. Kung Lit anxiously asked, is it of the evil system? Is there going to be any problem? Tabin replied, don't worry, Eve already made my move, saying that he summoned Little Skeleton and commanded act as usual. Receiving the order, Little Skeleton quickly drew its bone sword and approached that level 5 spirit beast. As soon as it got close enough, Little Skeleton suddenly burst forth with speed, immediately employing intermediate swordsmanship. The sword strike swept through the level 5 spirit beast, was annihilated into 2 streams of dark energy, slowly dissipating. Everyone around was astonished. Kung Lit praised, understanding the kill was indeed decisive. Even Ngoc Kin couldn't help but exclaim, it was that simple to resolve. If I had known it would be like this, I would have listened to my boss. The appearance without composure is just luck. I can do this kind of mixed fish too, but he secretly envied, tightly holding back to show off. After a while, the whole group had exited the canyon. Appearing before them was a magnificent mountain towering into the sky. Seeing the mountain, Kung Lit's expression became serious and said, this giant mountain is extremely dangerous. Last time we encountered an unidentified high-level fierce beast here and lost track of the blood lake. Tabin nodded slightly and said, now let's hurry, everyone work together to search for clues. Immediately all the scouting spirit beasts were summoned and everyone split up to search widely. A while later, one spirit beast discovered something and shouted loudly to attract attention. Upon hearing this, everyone moved closer to investigate the situation. Ngoc Kin spoke up and asked, Many-Eared Monkey, what did you discover? And seeing something without surprise, this was the monkey using its tail to present an object that astonished everyone. Why is the arm like this? The paleface explained, this is the Black Cloud Gold Gloves. Only team captain level pioneers have the strength to buy such good gloves. Hearing this, the expressions of Li Ung and Ngoc Kin changed. He was worried. Ngoc Kin said, Captain, how did he die so tragically here? What kind of monster did he encounter? At this moment, Tabin arrived and asked, what did you discover? Let me take a look. Without showing any disdain, he said, forget it. Are you very familiar with equipment? Tabin did not care, repeated, give it to me. Hearing this and not making eye contact with Tabin, he said, all right, isn't it fun to be a commander twice? Don't drag me into this. Ordering me, I am indeed a top-tier pioneer. Even if I accidentally killed an unnamed beast tamer, I would only be punished a little. Do you understand? The air was thick with the smell of gunpowder. Saying that, he let go of his hand and said, oops. Slipped my hand, you pick it up yourself. Seeing this, Tabin's expression turned dark. His eyes revealed a dangerous glint as he repeated, you pick it up yourself. Tabin suppressed his anger and bent down to pick up the arm. On the other side, Ngoc Kin thought to himself, what's wrong with these two? Taking the arm, observing Tabin, he silently analyzed that the dried blood indicated it had probably been dead for several days, but the wound still retained some thick dark aura. Could it be that a high-level demonic beast has appeared recently? Seeing Tabin's grim and stern expression, he asked, brother, to your complexion looks a bit bad. Have you discovered something related to the blood beast of DMV? Tabin continued to ponder, but since it was days ago, perhaps it has already left. Thinking for a moment, he sighed and answered, haven't you heard? One side laughed mockingly. Tram teased, aha, putting on a serious face, I thought you had some profound insight. You're really skilled, aha. Hearing him mock, Tabin suddenly stomped his foot, gaining momentum, and immediately threw a punch at the mocking face. Mercilessly, everyone was stunned by this scene. Nok Kin was speechless. Boss 2 was punched in the face by Tabin but did not get angry and shouted, little punk, I'm going to kill you yet. He did not draw his sword. He said fiercely, you dare. He swung down at Tobin, saying, looks like you're tired of living. A flash of the sword swept by. The sword pointed straight at his neck, causing Mac to dare not move. Holo was pointing the sword at his neck. He was startled and thought, when did this kid arrive? Liang stood behind, pointing his sword at the back of Tobin's neck, threatening, get your pet to back down. He calmly replied, why don't you tell him to put down his weapon first? He retorted, he brought this upon himself. Sparks flew from Holo's eyes. He said angrily, you've bothered me many times. It's given off a strong killing intent. Tobin threatened, don't blame me for acting ruthlessly. Liang was terrified, thinking constantly about the strong killing intent. Could it be that he is confident enough to kill everyone right here without making a big fuss? Don't think that I won't dare to touch you. Kundik turned to say, Brother Lum, this is a mistake from Brother 2. I apologize on his behalf. Liang also said, after this is over, I will compensate for the losses. Song Kwa showed you as a favor to me. For now, let's complete the mission. Nok panicked and exclaimed, that's right, Boss 2 is in the wasteland. Fratricide is a great taboo. In the end, none of us can go back. I calmly said, is that so? I feel that those who do not follow orders will only cause more trouble. You continued, having one more is worse than losing one. Hearing that, I felt displeased, frowned, and my hand holding the sword trembled. He put the sword down and said, Humph, Tobin, I remember you well. For now, I'll listen to your command. Once we return to the base, I'll let you know my face. Tobin turned and said, the next action will be under my command. What does the deputy team leader think? Liang heard this, thinking seriously about taking action. This kid definitely can't retreat completely. Could it be that he has seen through it? In this situation, we can only choose to preserve the overall situation. What do you mean I only follow the orders of the team leader? Please don't ask me. Kung Leet patted your shoulder and said, Brother, to us enthusiasm is a good thing. But if you cause trouble like this again, next time I absolutely will not forgive easily, understand? As he whispered in your ear, I can see your abilities. Let go, I have no objections, but that kid Lum Mac, I believe he won't let it go like that. Be careful, he might play dirty on the way. Not Sam turned to look but couldn't do anything. You smiled lightly following his words. Understanding there was a bright red light shooting up to the sky, everyone looked up. Kung Leet saw this and said, that's it. He shouted loudly, there's a situation. Quickly go check it out. Tran Sun helped Cook Tweet stand up with difficulty. Hurry, you say it again. Don't worry about me anymore. You hurry and run. Kuei Hai appeared towering before everyone. It roared loudly, shaking the heavens. Tran Sun covered his ears, thinking it's over. It's a mental shock. Its body shot spikes towards them. Those spikes pierced through other monsters. The spike shot straight in front of Tran Sun. But it couldn't do anything, his body completely immobilized. The dart was suddenly cut in half. He looked up in surprise. Are you three sitting on the two-headed monster of Kwang Leet? You said we are the Black Wolf team. Just now we heard your distress signal. He reminded everyone you must be careful ambushing us. Tran Sun shouted loudly, Beast Monster, hi. Kwang Leet suddenly turned and said, it's him. He recognized the scoundrel who ambushed us last time. The three of them tried to support Tran Sun and Cook Tweet onto the monster. You urged hurry up without reminding everyone. Everyone hold on tight. You reminded be careful. Dung Lak To Bin and Cook Tweet fell off the monster. She screamed, He turned around in shock as if sensing danger. The imp was about to stomp down on the two without shouting loudly, run fast. The imp stomped down, but the two were pulled up just in time onto the monster. Liang said, Boss 2 hold on tight. He was annoyed that he couldn't deal with Tobin. Tightening, Tobin turned to say, Deputy Captain, looking for a flat path will only slow us down. This kid almost got killed just now, yet there was no chaos at all. He thought, the terrain obstacles don't affect the sea monster. He replied, all right. Kwang Leet turned to say, we encountered many severed limbs and corpses of spirit beasts on the way. Is your team down to just 2 people now? Brother Sam frowned. The last Earth Shield beast in my hands was just handed over. Coke Tuet said to him, my holy flame bird can still fight. Kwang Leet turned to look. Among the level 8 spirit beasts, the holy flame bird is also considered fierce, yet is injured like this. Everyone run away from the imp. The combat power of this imp beast is likely about to reach a new level. Tu Bin thought, the critical spot of the imp beast is surrounded by bone frames. Very tough, relying solely on the attacks of the small skull cannot break the defense. We still need their help to get through this level and then find Lam Mac. We want settle the score after Tran Sun. He had an idea and said, I have a suggestion. If you all continue like this, none of us will escape. Everyone leave your spirit beasts behind. Help us buy time to retreat without shouting loudly. The old man just handed over one beast. He told me to go give it to Tran Sun. Pounding his chest, he said, once we leave this place for the losses of spirit beasts, Deep Tran Sun will fully compensate you. In addition, there will definitely be a thank you gift. Hua Kwang Leet turned to him in surprise. Deep Tran Sun, you're the one who pioneered Kim Hwan famous in that ranking without any discomfort. He said, I don't care who you are. The spirit beast of the old man took so much effort to cultivate you. Say it's for sale, it's for sale. He said, I offer 3 times the price. He turned and shouted, Liang, tell your people to also summon their spirit beasts to stay behind or else we will all die here. Liang turned to say, did everyone hear that? To survive, everyone contributes some strength. The 3 people were surprised to hear that Sam's face was tense and worried, saying, yes. Cook Tweet was startled and turned the holy flame bird to Ben's side in frustration. He jumped off the monster without hesitation. Tu Ben and the skull softly landed standing tall in front of the imp. Hyenjosi gasped and shouted, Boss 2. But no, Sam thought, you fool, you want to show off as a hero, right? Then you go die here by yourself. I will absolutely not let others stop to save you. Suddenly, hands sprouted from the ground. Everyone gasped and shouted. What is that? The skeletons began to rise from the ground. Everyone exclaimed loudly, not good, we are surrounded. The monsters stood straight in front of everyone. Kwang Lit was sweating and said, there's no reaction at all. Could it be they are not here to attack us? Tu Ben shouted, Captain, your pet has been with you for so long. This is the sole servant of yours. He continued with a grim face, throwing it away like this is a bit too scary. Tu Ben stood there commanding loudly, urging the whole army to attack the Skull Legion. Starting to advance, the sea skeleton demon rushed to the back of the small skeleton demon, hiding from the side, entering the battlefield, concealing its breath, launching a surprise attack. The skeleton demon lifted its foot and stomped down hard. Everyone was surprised to tell each other, a level 1 skeleton demon can actually gain the upper hand against a small skull. Kwang Lit jumped down, saying, following Brother 2, I'll help you. Nak Kin also joined in, following the captain, I'm coming too. Liang reported, the captain is also charging up, we should too. He frowned unhappily, saying, what? He shouted back, being led by this newcomer. Kwang Lit said, the bloodthirsty beast is thirsty for blood. Nak Kin looked up the beast Ham San. Liang directed, winged snake spear. Long Siusi Tuet also stood up, the holy flame bird, he ordered. Let's go. The 6-armed demon ape, all the monsters rushed towards the skeleton demon. The 6-armed demon ape charged forward, performing a mid-level technique, swinging its knife at the skeleton demon, aiming straight for its eyes. Tang Diem was also preparing to unleash a maximum long-range attack. Tang Luong also unleashed the Bone Frost technique. Immediately, the 2 monsters launched their attacks at the skeleton demon, the beast. Hem San threw a devastating punch. The skeleton demon was gradually beaten down, its teeth falling to the ground. Nak Kin happily said, good hit it, teeth scattered all over the ground. He also said, the bloodthirsty beast is thirsty for blood. The 3-headed demon dog also charged in, taking advantage of the victory to rush up. The fairy Snow the beast. Hunter rushed in and launched an attack at the skeleton demon. Someone was unexpectedly surprised, that was the Bin, who saw it thinking about the firm ribcage opening up. Then Siusi Tuet shouted loudly, quick hide, it was a mental shock. Tran Sun stood there, creating a shield in front of the 2 people the skeleton demon swung up, causing the monsters to be blown away. Everyone was trying to create a shield. A winged snake spear. Kang Ly tried to command, the bloodthirsty beast is thirsty for blood. Answer me quickly. Everyone helplessly called each other to quickly stand up, but only the skeleton demon slowly stood up. Shirgai Tran Sun struggled to get up. The recent attack had completely not resolved anything. Indeed, just with a few level 67 monsters, wanting to confront a level 8 is still a fanciful idea. The skeleton demon prepared to unleash its spikes. It swung its spikes towards the other monsters. Kang Ly worriedly shouted, not good. The distance is too far, we can't summon the space without being rashly commanded. So listen to me, just run away. To Bin's voice echoed, little skull mid-level swordsmanship. The skeleton stands up. Everyone was surprised. Isn't the little skull unconscious? Kang Ly turned around and unexpectedly said, that is an 8th level mental shock. How is that possible? You calmly replied, firmly resisting of course cannot endure. But what if the little skull simultaneously uses the divine roar? He thought, I remember that during the moment of release the Kang would actually create a small-scale explosion. But can it withstand the explosive impact of the spiritual shock? Kang Ly frowned in contemplation. This type of attack method had never been heard of before. An ordinary person basically would not risk danger to experiment. Moreover, the moment of release cannot be grasped without over 100 rehearsals. He couldn't help but watch his back and shouted, what has this person experienced after all? The demon clown used magic beginning to evolve. Everyone looked at this scene in fear saying, could it be level 9? It's preparing to unleash the death destruction without running away. Lao Tzu won't go crazy with you anymore, the death destruction is coming. A radius of 1,000 meters will be vaporized. To been solemnly ordered, little skull it's now. The dry skull began to prepare to unleash its attack. It jumped up and slashed through the demon clown. Everyone was surprised and solemn. After that slash from the dry skull, the demon clown unexpectedly exploded. After the slash, the bones of the demon clown fell to the ground. The screen displayed, Little Skull successfully killed battle power leveled up to level 8 skill. Upgraded from intermediate swordsmanship to advanced swordsmanship. Everyone was shocked by the scene before their eyes. The level 8 sea demon was thus killed. Then Kung Lit also unexpectedly said, moreover that Little Skull is nothing outstanding. She also said this attack method I really think I had never thought of it. He was taken aback and suddenly said, how is that possible? Nakkin trembled. Haha, thought it was definitely dead. Boss 2, how do you know from the inside you can take it down? You replied, it's not a coincidence Eve encountered something similar before. You thought about why only demon system pets could learn the broken branch combination. Why can the little skull sometimes be shattered but still combine, while at other times it cannot? Tobin continued to think the answer is only one, that is, the physical body is just the surface. The spirit core is the true root of the demon system pets. You remember the skull. As long as the core is not damaged, demon system pets can always activate the combination skill. On the contrary, as long as you take advantage of this point, well, any demon system pet can be a paper tiger, Tobin smirked. This battle further proved his speculation. The skull had a surge of power around the bony hand of the demon clown unexpectedly reassembling. Everyone was frightened and confused. At this moment, Li Ying spoke up. Is this demon still not fully dead? Tran Sun suddenly said, no, its movements are a bit strange, as if being controlled by someone. He suddenly realized, could it be that it's a puppet technique? Nok King wondered, boss, am I controlled by you? You replied, you could say that. He suddenly shouted, what do you mean by you could say that? Not only has he comprehended advanced spirit servitude, but he also killed and turned a level 8 enemy into a puppet. Is this little skull a warrior or a mage? How did it cultivate to this point? A surge of red power erupted from the two-headed monster. Kung Lit turned to give orders. We can't delay, let's continue looking for the blood lake. Li Ying replied, yes. Tobin stepped forward telling them, wait, I have one thing to deal with. I hope you pretend you didn't see it. Kung Lit was a bit worried, stepped forward. To brother, please show us some respect and don't shout in anger. What do you want to do? Tobin replied with a light smile. Nothing, just want to remind you to be a bit more careful. The skull rushed over and cut off his hand. The wilderness is dangerous. Be a bit more careful during exploration. He shouted in pain. Aha, you dare. Tobin darkened his face threateningly. Out of respect for the team leader, get lost. You won't get a pass, don't let me see you again. He painfully held his severed arm. Tobin glared fiercely, threateningly. If you don't willingly disappear, I would be more than happy to help you. He turned pale with fear, trembling, holding his arm. He ran away quickly. Ah, Kung Lit helplessly sighed. Nok King shouted, Boss 2, what are you doing? This is too much, Cuc Tuet thought. This person has ill intentions. Leaving him will sooner or later harm us. Definitely chasing him away is the right decision. Liang spoke up. We are looking for a blood lake beast, DMV. Do you two have any clues? Transun replied, the blood lake doesn't ring a bell. She thought for a moment and said, Ichem, I think Eve's seen its footprints before. He looked at the two and said excitedly, huh, where? Under the purple moonlit sky illuminating this mystical land, Tobin and Ko Lao were sitting on the skeleton of the devil clown. Suddenly it saw something. It jumped off the devil clown and ran away. Tobin wondered what is attracting little skull in the cave. He turned the gun to Siusi Tuet and said, your signal gun, can I borrow it for a bit? Here you go. I took the gun from her and shot it into the sky. The light from the gun illuminated everything and everyone saw a ghost beast lying there. That is Kwang Lit visibly cheerful found it. Everyone slid down from the edge of the rock. He patted its head and said, you made it really easy to find me. Kwang Lit turned around. The mission is complete. Let's prepare to head back. He raised his hand, wait a little longer. He wondered to who indeed. Tobin touched the stone in front of him, suspiciously replied, it seems like something is hidden here. Nakkin approached the stone and activated the device. Let me take a look. The analysis screen appeared before him. Unknown element content 91. 214 uranium content 0. 002 gold content 2. 902 silver content 0. 123 iron content 3. 231 nitrogen content 0001. Nakkin turned to tell everyone that no matching results were found among the known elements. This is an unprecedented mineral. Kwang Lit replied, oh, I know. I noticed their surprised attitude and asked him, why are they not reacting? Nakkin winked and explained, haha, I forgot it's your first time in our pioneering team. If rare minerals can be discovered, then it will definitely be profitable, no doubt. He gestured with his hands. But the pure water crevice can lead to the entire cosmic realm. The chances of encountering high-grade minerals are slim, like panning for gold in sand. Then Ngoc Kin shrugged. Such precious mining time, who would be willing to waste it? So basically, just report a little when we get back. The federal government will send someone else to take samples. Tobin smiled slightly. Little Skull's enthusiasm for this mineral definitely indicated it was not ordinary. Before this mineral slab reaches the government, isn't it all mine to enjoy? The notification screen appeared. Mission complete, reward for the mission Golden Crow Demon. Asiusi Tuet approached and said to Tobin, boss, to here is my business card. Asiusi Tuet brushed her hair, smiling warmly, inviting, if you're interested, I hope you can visit our academy. I want to introduce you to our principal. He took the business card and with a somewhat helpless expression said, thank you for your kind offer, but thought to himself, even after crossing over, I still can't overcome fate, I have to read books. Tobin raised his hand to bid her farewell. The more I see this, the more curious I am about the props given by the system. At the same time, he said to Siusi Tuet, I still have things to do, let's talk in detail next time. She unexpectedly replied, wait a moment. Watching his figure disappear, she said decisively like that. Siusi Tuet sighed, maybe we should be more decisive. It would be better to invite him to Feng Sun as a guide. The next morning, Tobin yawned tiredly. Suddenly, a sharp eye stared at him. Lang Noyet crossed her arms. Her angry face asked, you're up this early? You didn't stay up all night, did you? Stayed up all night again. Tobin tiredly walked past her, replying, that's right. What a coincidence, you two. Lang Noyet stuck out her tongue teasingly at him. Who has a coincidence with you? My useless brother. I wake up early every morning to exercise. Tobin ignored her, tiredly walking upstairs. That's impressive. I'm proud of you. Hearing this, Lang Noyet blushed, stamping her foot in frustration. Yeah, who needs you to be proud? Tobin was now lying on the bed, his hands scrolling on the system screen. He pointed at a strange object, asking the system, what is this Golden Crow Divine Demon Body? The system explained, the Golden Crow Divine Demon Body is the secret cultivation technique of the Golden Crow tribe. It turns out, the Golden Crow is born from the blazing energy of the sun, already possessing the strength of mountains and rivers. Through cultivation, it can further break the undefeated battle spirit during ancient times, having conquered more than half of the vast universe. Wherever the golden crow passes, all things return to dust. The descendants call it the divine demon. Tobin jumped up, surprised. Is it that powerful? The system screen displayed a warning. Cultivating the golden crow divine demon body will continuously transform your body. The process is extremely slow, long, and arduous and requires extremely high combat power along with a large amount of material support. In the end, you will no longer be human but will become the golden crow divine demon ruling over the world. Tobin anxiously looked at his hand. Will this body turn into a monster? He thought to himself, that sounds too much like a villain. The system sensed his unease and explained, on this point the host need not worry. After cultivating into a golden crow, the body will be formed from pure energy, and you can retain your original form based on your preferences, which will not affect your normal life. Tobin pondered, where is normal life? Is there still a normal life? He remembered the things that had happened in the past. The weak in this world live without any dignity. Perhaps not being human is the only way to survive. The more human-like he was, the more determined his face seemed to say. Just play by your rules, the packages are delivered by people. Tobin stood aside and told them, just place the items here. Everyone can go back. The delivery people responded, yes. He sat down and clicked on the package in front of him. The items from the Federation warehouse are delivered right to the door. It's really convenient. The package sounded recognition successful. Tobin unleashed a surge of power while mining, killing a few ferocious beasts to earn contributions. Just in time, he bought a light military uniform to wear over the activated original armor. It can be based on the vitality of clothing to upgrade defense suitable for oneself, resisting attacks from level 1 to 7. You are wrapped around by pieces of armor. Tobin looked at the opened crates and said, the training materials for the first level of the Golden Crow Divine Demon Body have also been fully collected. The effectiveness compared to going to the training area is significantly higher. He considered that most of the materials and vitality needed for the Golden Crow Divine Demon Body could be obtained from the developed warehouse and the Chaotic Vitality map. After upgrading the Divine Demon Body, it can explore many more dangerous places in the Wasteland and the Chaotic Vitality map. The perfect circle closed. Tobin looked at the fossils in the crate. The remaining issue is these minerals. He picked one up and asked the system, the nurturing cage requires an upgrade fee, right? The system immediately replied, that's right, both upgrading and maintaining the nurturing cage require the host to pay with energy points. So, if Tobin smiled lightly, what if I use these minerals to renovate the nurturing cage? Can the materials I provide reduce the upgrade costs? His eyes darkened, all for the purpose of nurturing a stronger spirit pet. The system screen displayed that new authority had been unlocked. Renovating the nurturing cage after collecting enough designated materials requires only paying 20 of the energy needed for upgrading the nurturing cage. At the same time, a fully equipped nurturing cage will have additional new effects. 2 upgrades for the nurturing cage. Dark Ming Stone, 200 on 98 pebbles, 70 on the Giant Beast's bone, 30 on the Soul Team 1, on the Energy 200 on 58. The effect can significantly increase the aptitude and combat power of the spirit pet, adding a bit of healing recognition for all non-life-threatening injuries. Not for evil spirit pets, the effect received is 50. For evil spirit pets, the effect received is 70. Tobin was happy it really could renovate with quite a high degree of freedom. He told the system that although the side effects were quite serious, the effects were so good. Tobin touched the fossils. These materials were quite easy to find in the developed base. He clicked. His tongue energy was only focused on training, and the shop was about to close soon. Yending received his call. She was surprised to hear that the Little Peach Spirit Pet Shop had actively contacted her. She answered the call, saying to him, "Boss, you are looking for me." Tobin asked, "Hey, are you satisfied with the training results of the lightning rat?" Yending happily replied, yes, extremely satisfied. I don't even know how to thank you." Tobin spoke up. "Oh, just in time. I need you to help me with something." She was a bit surprised. thinking, the boss needs my help. The opportunity to get closer has come. She immediately agreed, saying, boss, just say it as long as it's within my ability. I will definitely help. He stated his request. I want to shoot a short video with you. Yending, upon hearing this, was surprised, her face flushed. She suddenly thought of some inappropriate things a short video could it be. Blushing, she stammered, shoot? Shoot for what? Tubin replied, of course it's to become famous. Are you coming? Yending shyly covered the clock and spoke softly. You lost your patience and replied, if you don't come, they'll find someone else. Her face turned bright red, and finally she responded, yes, I understand. Yending walked over in a somewhat revealing outfit and said, boss, I'm here. Tubin, sitting at the desk, replied, oh, you came. Upon seeing her, Yu coughed lightly and said, you look quite beautiful today. Yending shyly responded, didn't you say you wanted to shoot a short video? I calmly said, as long as it doesn't affect the performance, it's fine. Quickly call Chutloi Kwang over here. Yending looked a bit surprised and asked, Chutloi Kwang? She covered her mouth and exclaimed, it can't be with me. That's unrealistic, right? I replied, somewhat confused by her words. Why is it unrealistic? I just need to shoot you summoning Chutloi Kwang. Then releasing Loi Don Loi Tame is enough. At this moment, Yending was stunned. Oh, is it enough to just shoot these? Tubin said, if not, then what? What else do you think we should shoot? Only this Chutloi Kwang can prove my training effectiveness. She didn't forget to bring it, did she? She was sweating and hurriedly replied, I brought it. Chutloi Kwang poked its head out at this moment. Yending seemed to remember something. I have it, boss. Although our school's annual competition has ended, there will soon be a demonstration match between the champion and the runner-up. She eagerly told him, the final champion Deep How will have a match with me. Tubin pondered, a demonstration match. If you go on stage with me then. Yending continued, the publicity effect will definitely be great. You agree with this? Champion Deep How, why didn't you win the championship? Yending explained, that's right. The 9th level bloodline of the Thursday non-SA Loi Lung on Deep House side is really too strong. But I originally expected to at most make it into the top 20. I didn't expect that being able to achieve second place has already exceeded my expectations. Tubin's face became interested, a 9th level bloodline. I didn't expect there would be someone in this academy who could defeat Chutloi Kwang. He exclaimed, interesting. In the morning the sky was clear. Sunlight shone down on the entire city and Fengshan Academy. Everyone around was busy taking care of their pets. Yending led the way in front while Tubin followed behind looking around. Wow, you girls are quite trendy with Chutloi Kwang. A Yending turned around, raised her right hand into a fist for the competition. Now Chutloi Kwang has become the star pet, the shop owner. To ask before the competition started, do we need to hand out flyers? Tubin rolled his eyes and replied, no, it's not necessary. These ordinary students keep Chutloi Kwang just for the trend. Hope to turn the small into the big. Tubin brushed past Yending, closed her eyes and said, even after the attractive trend passes, it will still be abandoned due to prices. She felt small upon hearing him say that, pointed at herself and murmured, that's true, I still haven't finished paying back the money I borrowed from now. The two of them walked past a group of female students crowding around Deep How, who were asking and praising him. Deep, then after graduation, will you join the Royal Falls team? Haha, what a silly question. I heard that the top team has already sent an invitation. Wow, so admirable. Deep How didn't care at all, looking around while the compliments still echoed. Deep Then's strength is estimated to reach the first team in less than half a year. From what I see, there is also a possibility of going directly there. Suddenly, Deep How separated from the group of female students and walked towards Yending, calling, classmate, wait a moment, I need to find you for something. Yending saw someone looking for her and stopped to ask, is there something you need from me? Deep How, when he heard her ask that, replied, nothing, just wanted to thank you for the match the other day. It's just that my pet Silver Serpent Thunder broke the limits during the battle and finally reached level 7. Yending smiled with her eyes closed when she heard him say that. Oh, is that so? Then congratulations to you. Tobin, standing next to her, glanced at her, thinking, is this the person who defeated the Thunderlight Beast? Deep Hao unexpectedly bent down close to Yending's face, placed his hand on his chest in response to her question. Yeah, that's right. There's one more thing during the match. I suggest you not use the Thunderlight Beast anymore. She felt a bit shy when he leaned close to her and asked why. Deep Hao stood up straight, ran his hand through his hair and confidently said, my Silver Snake Thunderpet carelessly comprehended level 7 Lungi, it still hasn't mastered zooming in and out. Haha, you know that. Yending remained silent, her eyes lowered slightly, bowing her head to listen to Deep Hao continue rambling. If the Thunderlight Beast is restricted in its bloodline, it will look very unattractive. Tobin turned her back to the two, but her eyes still glanced at where she and Deep Hao were. Hearing him say that if he fought with Luke Feng, at least from an appreciation perspective, it wouldn't be bad. She responded when she heard him say that, I understand. Deep Hao turned back towards the group of female students waving and saying, see you again during the match. The girls there burst into laughter upon hearing that. Haha, I'll try to go easy. Tobin turned to face Deep Hao's back, thinking it was unnecessary. Even if it was a Beast King, the Thunderlight Beast wouldn't be afraid. Moreover, it is still an immature pet. Deep Hao, upon hearing Tobin say that, slightly turned his head, glanced back, sighed softly and asked, oh, is this Yending? He pointed his hand towards Tobin, his eyes slightly focused on her. Let me introduce a bit. This is store owner Tu, who helped me train the Loi Kwang Thursday. You could say he is half the master of Loi Kwang Thursday. She explained to Tobin. He is Deep Hao, the champion of our academy, a person who spends a lot of money on spirit pets. Upon hearing her words, Tobin immediately looked towards Deep Hao. Oh, how rude, how rude. Deep Hao stared at Tobin, standing with his hands clasped in front of him, frowning, wondering how this young store owner could train such an unreasonable Loi Kwang Thursday. He was suspicious unless there was another master behind the scenes training it. After thinking it over, Deep Hao spoke up. You're overpraising me. Money is just an external thing. As long as it can enhance the spirit pet, any amount of money is worth it. I wonder if store owner 2 is interested in some training. Upon hearing him say this, Tobin crossed his arms and replied, that's great. But our shop's business is currently very good, so we are quite busy. If you are so sincere, I will make an exception this time. Tobin raised his hand, signaling 500,000, about 17 billion Vietnamese dong. Deep Hao, upon hearing Tobin say this, felt worried. 500,000 is just a priority fee. Is this guy for real? Yending, standing behind Tobin, was covering her mouth with her hand, trying to hold back laughter. Tobin, seeing Deep Hao's attitude raised, both hands shrugged his shoulders with a teasing tone. Really? Young Master Deep loves spirit pets like his life. But he is even stingy with 500,000. Really? Deep Hao was very angry upon hearing Tobin's words, grinding his teeth and glaring at Tobin without saying anything. He angrily turned away. Money wasn't the issue. He could have as much as he wanted if he had that capability. Tobin wasn't to be outdone, responding with a determined look. Of course, see you in the competition. Upon hearing Deep Hao say this, he thought to himself that the rich and handsome boy in school was indeed spending money without a second thought. He was in the right place,